Hi guys. My phone is heating up because of the weather, so I've got to try and put my fan behind it. You can't hear it, can you? Hopefully that will do. Clearly not. Right, hold on. Can you guys hear the fan? My phone's heating up, so I've got to kind of keep the fan on it. Oh, you can hear it. Is it loud? If my phone gets too heated up, it's going to end up turning off. It's too hot here in London again. So it's loud. I'll put it on the lowest. A little bit. Can you hear me though? Is my mouth big enough? Can you hear what I'm saying? Oh, see, look, it's just not standing up. As long as you can hear me, that's the most important thing. Oh, okay, hi. All right, good. Lisa, Scarlett, Gina. As long as you can hear me. I'm so sorry you can hear the fan in the background because my phone's heating up and I don't want it to lock off, so I have to put the fan behind it just so it doesn't heat up. Because my phone feels really hot. So I'll just wait for a few more people to come into the room before I get started, so nobody will miss anything. I didn't have time to do the Vedic astrology, but I will do it this week, sometime this week. Ooh, dear. Hello. Nothing but love. Do you know, my sister-in-law, so my mom's favourite flowers is the orchid. We don't have air conditioning in the UK. I'm not saying that nobody does, but you have to, the UK is built to sustain the heat because we live in a rainy, grey, cold country. And if we're lucky, and I was born here, and if we're lucky, we'll get sun for 30 days in the year, and that's all we get. It will never be a 2-month period of heat. It will never be. It's always 3 weeks, if we're lucky, 4 weeks of pure sun. But the houses in the UK are not built. We don't build air conditioning in our house. You have to actually purchase it and put it into the house because you're coming in August. Yeah, so we don't have aircon. So a lot of people who are not from the UK will say, why don't you put your aircon on? They don't build houses in the UK with aircon because it's a cold country. In fact, the houses in the UK is built to sustain heat because it's a cold country, always raining, always cold. So all the houses that I've lived in all my life never had an aircon in it because we don't build it like that. It's an electric fan, or you would have to purchase the aircon because we don't do aircons. We do it in the Philippines where my mum was born. I know they do it in the USA when I went to go and visit my cousin. Every other country, but not really in the UK. So no, I don't have the aircon. I have my electric fan, the little handheld one that's behind you at the minute, and then the big one over there. And it's really hot today. It's still hot today. So I've got like all the blinds closed. So anyway, my mum's favourite flower, I grew up with no aircon, so I get a big fan. Sometimes the big fan just blows out hot air. So that's why I prefer the electric. I mean, it is cooler than an actual normal fan, but it's nothing to scream home about. So my mum's favourite flowers is the orchid, okay? And I've just never really had the time to get rid of this dead orchid. Is there a breeze outside at least? Yeah, there is. It's 29 degrees today in the UK, which is much cooler than like 35. But my sister-in-law, it's so crazy. So my sister-in-law bought orchids for my mum because that was my mum's favourite flower. And she bought these orchids for my mum about 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And the orchid survived for a couple of months and then it died. And 3 years, there was no plant, there was nothing on this orchid. It was just brown leaves. I didn't pay much attention to it, but because it's on the kitchen windowsill, I always say to her, I'm going to throw it in the bin. I'm going to throw it in the bin. They're not. I realize that. So anyway, I'm in my kitchen and every so often I would look at the orchid and I think I've got to throw that away, it's dead. 3 years, guys, I didn't see any leaves. 3 years. And the other day when I was in the kitchen and I was cooking, I was like, what the it's like after my mum died, these orchids on it's like she's looking after my orchids on the other side. So I was looking at, I looked at my window a couple of days ago and I'm like, what the fuck? There's a bud. There's like a little bud in the orchid. And I'm like, oh my God, it's alive. I haven't watered it. I haven't looked at it. I haven't spoken to it. I haven't done nothing associated to it. It's just been on the window for 3 years. But it's crazy because, and if you look, it's got eyes. So I was talking to her yesterday and then the other one is born as well. Look, that one, look, came out as well. After 3 years of nothing. And now all of a sudden, if you look close enough, guys, it has eyes. Swear to God, I never really looked at an orchid before. But if you look close enough, you can see it's got eyes. I swear she's looking at me. She's so looking at me. I couldn't believe it. 3 years of death. And then out of nowhere, my mum loved orchids all the way, and lilies. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I've got to remove her from the kitchen, and then I've got to put her in the living room where there is like rainbows. That comes into my living room. And she's alive. Hi, CJ. Oh, I didn't know it would take 3 years. I threw mine. The only reason why I didn't throw it in the bin was because I was lazy. I just left it on the window. I didn't really care about it. And then as I stopped caring about it, not watering it, not feeding it, nothing, not changing anything, I was just like, oh, I'm going to throw it in the bin. I'll do it tomorrow. And I never, ever did it. 3 years. So when my sister-in-law bought the orchids from my mum, they were alive for maybe, I don't know, a month. And then they died. Hi, Ray. They were alive for a month and then they died. But my point is, 3 years, nothing. 3 years, and then it bloomed out of nowhere. I was just like, that's my mum. My mum's doing that because that's her flower. But it was so weird, right? Like an intuitive, because I was too lazy to throw it out. And it must have been that's one of the reasons why it was like on some unconscious level, me and these orchids were talking to me like, you're too tired today, don't throw it out. I feel like my mum's taking care of it because it's her flower, but it died. It doesn't last long. Orchids don't last very long. And I realize now I threw all of these orchids away and they would have just bloomed after 3 years. But don't throw away your orchids because I'm telling you, 3 years later, mine was blooming. I thought that was crazy. That just doesn't happen. I mean, is this unheard of or is this normal? A couple of months. Yeah, okay. Couple of months. But 3 years, no flowers. 3 years, no bloom. 3 years, no buds. And then just out of nowhere. And to be fair, I did start noticing the buds. I think I noticed the buds last month on my mum's death anniversary, believe it or not. Hi, Yvette. I started to notice the buds on my mum's 7-month anniversary, because a couple of days ago it was 8 months that my mum's gone. She's the phoenix. I love that. I love that. I love that so much. I haven't got an urn for her yet. That was the 8th, yeah. I haven't got an urn for her yet. She doesn't care. She was like, you don't need to do it. I'm alright over here. But I know I need to get her a really nice urn, but I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna get her an urn, but I just haven't done it yet, but I will. But she doesn't care. She doesn't really care. Of course you don't. Why would you? You've got shit to do up there. So I've got some stuff that I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to do Vedic astrology, but I was really busy doing a few private clients. I was really busy working out on the treadmill, and I'm getting really irritated with my treadmill because it's heating up in this weather. It never did that, like when it was cooler. So now that I'm running on the treadmill, I'm on it for like 40 minutes. It's really, really hot. And it's like, I don't use my trainers to go on the treadmill, but my feet feels like it's on fire. But I've got loads of stuff that I want to talk to. I don't even know really where to begin. I'm going to start off with my notes. It's purple in colour. I love orchids. I think they're really beautiful, but I didn't realize they had a face. So when I talked to when it was still in bud, I said to the orchid, I love you and I can't wait to see you. What I didn't realize is that when she opened herself up, I'm like, you have eyes. I'm like, well, you've got eyes. And I'm looking at her, I swear she's got eyes. Like, you saw it when I held the phone up to it, right? She's got eyes. It's like the way that she's shaped, so you could see the eyes of the orchid. And I'm like, so I'm looking into her eyes and I'm talking to her. And then I go, I can't wait to see the rest of you. And now the other ones come to bloom yesterday. But I'm telling you, my orchid has got eyes. I've never seen it before. I don't really pay attention to the middle part of it. It's so funny that you say that, because I called her Leo. It's so funny that you said, are you going to name her? Look at her eyes. Can you see? You can't not see them eyes. Look at those two eyes. It's not, she knows you're looking at her. Say hello, honey. You can see it, right? Those are eyes, my God. She's alive. She's alive. She's alive. Bloody Frankenstein. It's alive. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know. I always looked at the flower of the orchids, but I never actually looked into it. She is beautiful though, and I feel her communicating with me. I know that might sound crazy, but to me, you know me, guys, I'm crazy, so I'm crazy, so you know. I've got so many new books and I've got to read all of them, and it's not crazy. I'm going to have to buy one and look at it now. I'm telling you, it's got eyes. I'd never noticed it ever. My mom's had orchids all her life, because my siblings will always buy her a gift and it's always orchids. And I always look at the leaves and the buds, like it coming out like that. But I never ever looked inside of it until I did. And it's just like, my God, it's beautiful. She's beautiful. And I happen to call her Leo. I was like, what am I going to call you? My mum's name is Leonarda. And I was like, what am I going to call you? Because it's my mum's favourite orchid. Hey, Patty. So I was like, what am I going to call you? And then I was like, I'm going to call you Leo, because my mum is Leonarda. It's funny that you said that though, Ms. Lotus. Are you going to name her? And I did. So weird. Oh God. Hi Marsha. I'm just waiting for everyone to come into the room so I can start. So I haven't got my cross on or my flower of life symbol on because the necklace part of it snapped. So I've ordered some new ones and I'm waiting for it to come back in. But that's one of the reasons why I don't have it yet. But I wanted to talk to you about reincarnation. I also wanted to talk to you about the flower of life pattern. I wanted to talk to you about hot flashes. And I wanted to talk to the unlocking of your DNA. It's so good, isn't it? Isn't it so good? It's like, what the fuck? Where do you get all this shit from? Books, autobiographies. I watch so many stuff. And I'm like sitting there going, why does that ring true to my soul? And then I start writing it down. I'm like, everybody needs to know this. So we've got some good topics to talk about today. So put your questions in there. Hey, Howard. So what are we going to talk about today? Okay, so we're going to talk about reincarnation. We're going to talk about the flower of life pattern. We're going to talk about hot flashes. And we're going to talk about sacred spaces to activate the DNA. Oh, I'm just not boring, am I? And I always have to say this as well after I say that to you. Don't just take my word for it, guys. Go and do your research. I always say that. Don't just take what I'm saying for Bible. If it doesn't, I'm very much interested in reincarnation. Yeah. It's a beautiful subject. I don't know why people would think. My dad was like, from dust to dust we are born and dust to dust we go. And I'm like, what happens to your soul? And he's like, yeah, from dust to dust we go. And I'm like, okay. You don't think there's a soul in that body of yours, Pa? God rest his soul. Now you know, innit? Now you know, old man. That we live beyond this physical world. There's so many fractals of us just separated from us. It's crazy. Like, you guys, we had to be dumbed down when we come to the universe, when we come into the world, into the physical world. We had to go to the land, through the land of forgetfulness. I just watched something about fractals. Did you know? Yep. Did you know that there's like 1,000 versions of yourself living out something that you did not do? Should I go to the cinema today? I'm going to go. I really want to go. But I'm not going to go. So there's a fractal part of you that actually has gone to the cinema. It's madness. So I had a weird dream the other night. This is about that energy because we're in Gemini, in Cancerian energy. Hey Diana, isn't that coincidental? No, because who the hell talks about fractals? This is all divine timing. This is all divine way. I always try to figure out. It's like my guides will highlight in the depth of my soul what I should write down. If you know, yes. I don't think there are any coincidences. I think, and it's funny that out of all, no one talks about fractals. You don't get with your girlies and go, oh guys, do you hear about fractals? You don't sit there talking about it with your kids. It is so random. It's so random. So that's why I always listen to my soul. I always listen to it. You can't go wrong because somebody's going to get the message. So there's 11 people in here at the minute, but I do want to talk about fractals are like pieces of something or pieces of yourself. We fractal out into many. So let's just, because you have to understand that we live in a physical world where time was created by man, right? So when time is created by man, we go by the date on the calendar, we go by the time of our watches. But when you cross over to the other side, there's like more than just one level. There's no time does not exist on the other side. Everything that happened yesterday, all our future selves, all our past selves, and our present selves is all happening in this moment, in the now moment. That's what they call it. And from the information, the past, now, the past, the present, and the future are all happening now. Because think about it. There are past versions of yourself that you've already experienced, all that pieces of yourself, fractals of yourself, right? It doesn't mean that because it's in the past that you, as that little girl or that teenager, you know, or the adult, the teenage adult, it doesn't mean that part of you disappears. It's still in the energy frequency. You're still back there. You're still here. And then your future selves, which you could be a grey, your soul might leave the body and go, you know what? I've had like 1,000 lifetimes as a human being. I want to go to the water planet, and I would like to be a grey, an alien. So when you meet a connection, when you connect to an alien, that's just parts of who you are, just your soul in an alien body. Like, we're all aliens. We all have different sort of DNA frequencies within us. The one core thing that holds us true together is that we came from that one creative force, that force of love. That's the one thing we have in common. But everything else is different experiences, different people, different ways of thinking, learning different lessons. Those are different, but we're ultimately from the same vibrational love frequency, and that's all that really matters. And when we leave this lifetime, you can choose to come back in. Oh, okay, I understand. Good. Because your future self is not here yet, right? That's what you think in the physical. The way we think in the physical world is our future is yet to come. But I'm sorry, that's not what I've seen. That's not what a lot of people who do tarot, or people who are mediums or psychics or past life regressionists or got out of body experiences, they don't look at time the way we look at time. It's already all happened. It's happening right now. We are both in the future. We're here, and we're also in the past. The past part of who we were, it doesn't dissipate. It doesn't disappear and go. You know, we're still that child all those years ago. We're going to be the granny, you know, the old crone, the old man, the old wizard later on in the future, the grey. We are all and everything right now. That's the beautiful part of what I love to do. Just investigate, and everything so far, everything that I've been doing this far, with my near-death experiences and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on here and why we're all here, I understood that there is no time. Like, if they burned the calendar and they took time away and they took like the clocks away, you wouldn't even know when you were born. Like, it wouldn't matter. It matters that you're just here and we're meant to live life and have fun, you know, and live in love. That's what we're here to do. Live in love. It's amazing. Hey, Desire Me. It is amazing. And I just want to bring you into my world. I want to bring you into what I see. I want to share it with you, because when it finally, and when it does happen to you, if it already has, you're going to know that there is something bigger than just where we are right now. We are bigger than what we see in the mirror. There's so much more to us than what we just see. You know, I've always said this, you're not your name. You've had many names. You know, you're not your name, you're not your job, you're not your problem. You can absorb things from the outside, and you can fuel it into your energy, and then you can have the problem from the outside internal world. Then the internal world is going to be even more destroyed, and then your external world will follow your vibrational frequency. That's why I always talk about frequency. I had a dream. I had a butterfly on my ankle this morning. Oh, and I had a butterfly. Did I say something about butterflies with you? I can't remember. Butterflies are transformation. Anytime you got butterflies flying around you, the weirdest or the oddest thing happens with butterflies. It's the universe's way of telling you that there is a change coming your way, that there is a shift and a change around you. And a butterfly represents rebirth. Dragonflies as well. That's so magic. Dragonflies is magic. Expect miracles kind of energy. No, because then you haven't fulfilled your contract. If you don't fulfill your contract, you have to come back and do it again. It's a contract. It's binding. It's like, you know, when you get a phone contract, you can't get out of it for 2 years, right? 3 years. You have to fulfill your contract. It works the same way over there. Because that's why your guides say to you, are you sure you want to have an abusive alcoholic drug parents? Are you sure you want to do the prostitution? Are you sure you want to have like 12 miscarriages? Are you sure you want to, develop cancer? Because this seems a lot. Are you sure you want to go to war? Are you sure you want to go through these illnesses? Because you're picking a lot of like big ticket items here, lessons. But a lot of people are like, yeah, I know, but that's only going to be like 90 years. That's only going to be, 75 years, and then I'm back here. So screw it. You can't break a contract. The contract is binding. Hey, Serenity Rose, you can tweak some of the stuff, but you can't change anything. Like those big ticket items, Fab. Like, for example, if somebody has an ailment, or if somebody loses a family member, and it's a part of something that you chose it. It's your life. You chose it. It's your free will. How can we manifest to get out of a bad situation? You already are out of the bad situation. It just is. To manifest is to know that it already is. It just is. To manifest in the, I'm still in it, so it's not going to happen. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. Like when I say to you, there are different parts of yourself. You got your mind. You got 4 bodies. You got the physical body, the mental body, the spiritual body, and the emotional body. If those are sending out different signals, your manifestations, your manifestations there's a flaw in it. There's a flaw, or there will be the manifestation that comes to you, but then you'll have another issue arise because it was like you manifested something from a place of fear, worry, or sadness. You're not in alignment with what you're asking for, and it's so hard for us human beings to stop worrying. It breaks your heart. You have like this, but you have to trust that you've come this far after shitty situations and you got out of it. Your belief system as well, Fab. If it's real in your mind, it's real in the world. Yes, Serenity Rose. So your belief system is so important. It's so important. What your timeline and my timeline might be completely different from each other because of my belief system. So how can I manifest getting out of a bad situation? I'm going to put it like this, real simple. I was on the street. I had a blanket. I was underneath this thing to shield me from the rain just in case. So I want you to visualize what happened to me. How did I get myself in that situation? I don't know. Did I not want I'll tell you what it was. I didn't want to be looked upon a certain way. I didn't want to show my family that I was useless. I had nothing. I didn't have the job. I wasn't able to provide or take care or give money, help to my mum or my daughter. But this time my daughter wasn't born when I was on the street. I didn't want my family to know that they were right about me, that I am a loser and that I keep shifting jobs and I'm not a reliable person. So when I slept on the street, it was because I had so much pride and I was shamed that I didn't want to let them know where I ended up. So you visualize this, Fab, when you're saying, so how can we manifest getting out of a bad situation? I would say sleeping on the street and having a blanket. That's quite bad, isn't it? But when I was sitting there, I looked up at the sky and I started to see myself with my own business. I didn't know exactly what it was I was going to be doing, because remember, I didn't start doing this business until 10 years ago. 6 years on TikTok. So I'm on the street and I stopped being like, you would be like, how did I get here? I'm sitting on the street. I've got a blanket covering me. I don't have any money for food. Like, I didn't sit there thinking about that, Fab. I looked up in the sky and I started to smile. And I said, I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to have so much money that I'm going to be able to now, because it's always my siblings paying for things or buying me clothes if we go out because they felt sorry for me. I'm paying for my mum's food. You know, am I ever going to get to a position where I can buy things for my mum, gift my mum, not have to worry about my siblings paying for everything because I'm the loser? I didn't sit there thinking about that. I looked up at the sky and I said, I'm going to have my own business. And I'm smiling. I'm on the street with a blanket. And I'm like, I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to have enough money that I can take my family on holiday. I'm going to have such a good credit score, because my credit score was bad since I was 16 years old. Because I think I took out 6 credit cards without a job like a dickhead. And how was I going to pay all of that? I already had a £8,000 debt by the time I was 16 years old. I already visualized everything that I wanted. I already felt like it was already mine. It was like I already knew I already had it. All I knew is that there was a divine timing to all things. And in this moment, while I'm on the street with the blanket over me, I knew that I would never want to be in this position again. So what was I going to do? I was going to persevere and I was going to keep going. And so I did. I have a vision board and speak to it every night. Amazing. That's so good. It will come to life before your eyes, you'll see. So Fab, when you say, how do I manifest getting out of a bad situation? First of all, stop talking about the bad. You plump yourself right into it when you go, how do I manifest getting out of a bad situation? You live in the bad. That's why you don't know if you're ever going to get out of it. You just have to know, like I did. I didn't know what my business was going to be. I didn't know I was going to be a tarot reader, reading for everybody all over the world. You've heard me say this. I didn't know I was going to have 112,000 followers. I had no idea any of this shit was going to happen. But I just knew that being on the street and out of that bad situation, I knew I was going to be so abundant. So do you know what happened? Years later, and I hope it's not for you this long, because for me it was years later, I have my own business. I got a great credit. Everything that I just said when I was on the street looking up at the sky. Great credit score, because I was blacklisted. Couldn't ever get a credit card ever again. Now people are lending me cards. Able to go out shopping with my siblings. The cocky fuckers. Yeah, who's all had the same job for 30 years, 25 years, whatever many years, over a decade, all 3 of them, stuck to one job. Me, cleaning shoes, cleaning toilets, selling birthday cards, working in a restaurant, security guard, a cleaner for a building. I was cleaning houses. I was all over the fucking place. That's just my life, innit? I was just like, I'm fucking bored. I can't do it anymore. And my family's like, you can never keep a job. Why can't you just keep a job? And I couldn't say it to them because they would never understand, because I knew that I was meant for something bigger than doing that 9-to-5 job, which is fine if that's what you want to do. It's your life and it's your free will. Or find my life's purpose, which is obviously this. So what did I say when I was on the street, having enough money to treat my family? And we would go to a steakhouse every Saturday. So in the UK, we have Lakeside, and we'll go to a boathouse, Million Carters, and I would pay every time. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us, and I'm paying everyone for everyone every week, like clockwork. We'll go into like a clothes shop, and I'm with my little brother, he's in his 40s, and I'm with my big sister, she's in her 50s, and my mum. And this is all when my mum was alive. And my brother is going, oh, I really like that jacket, but I like that one, I'm not sure. And I go, pick one, I'll buy it for you. And when he couldn't decide, without him looking, I would pick up the 2 jackets and pay for both of them and go, here you go. Like, I never was in that position in my life. My sister wanted a dress for my niece's wedding. I'm going to have to come back next week. Okay, do you want that? I'll buy that for you. Here, get the blazer as well. That's how God provides, because I just knew it belonged to me. I knew that I was going to get out of that bad situation. I'm a gifter. I'm a gifter to the point that I get poor. I'm a gifter to the point that if you need money and you're struggling, and I got that last piece of money to buy me a little bit of food, but forget me, I'm going to give it to you instead because I'd rather you eat than me. I am that kind of a gifter. I will gift you until I'm poor and I ain't got nothing left in the bank. That's why God always gives me more. So I'm like, give, because whether I give big or give small, or I give the last penny in my wallet, I know God is going to give me like 20,000 times more than what I've given. I've never done that. I've never been in a position where I can say to my siblings, buy that, and they're all looking at me like, what the fuck's going on with her? They're like, so Taro's going well then? I was like, I'm so absolutely blessed. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. I spoke it, fab, into existence. I didn't focus on my bad situation when I was sleeping on the street. I looked up at God in the sky and I said to all of them, okay, all of them, I said, I'm going to have my own business. This is what I said, and I have it. I'm going to have enough money to treat my family. It's going to be my turn to take care of them. My turn. I'm going to have good credit because my credit score is shit and I couldn't even get my car because my credit score was bad, and by some grace of God, by some divine miracle, I got my car, and I was like, I don't know how it happened, but thank you. It was everything I said, it came to me. But it was so unfortunate that I didn't realize I had to align to it energetically. But I pulled it in later on in my life, in my 30s, my mid 30s. It was just that when I was in my teens and 20s, I didn't know any of this shit until I hit 30 when I died, when I was 31. And then I was like, damn, I need to send this information out there, because if you're in alignment, stop focusing on the bad stuff. I tell you this during a reading. Stop focusing on a bad situation. Focus on what the outcome is going to be. What does it look like when that situation is gone? Stop saying the word bad. It's a negative word. It's a negative frequency. This is low vibrational frequency energy. We are all energy in motion. So if you're calling in bad, bad is going to come. If you're calling in bad situation, then bad situation is going to come. Like, watch what you say. I tell you off all the time, you guys. Shut up. If you've got nothing good to say, backtrack. Nope, I rebuke that. I'm not going to say that. No, I believe so. I know it's going to be okay. It is okay. It just is. It's a knowing. You just know. Like how Anita Manjari healed herself from cancer. She goes, I just knew I was healed. And then the cancer started shrinking because she just knew she was healed. The cancer was in her body, but she said, I just knew it. And as she knew it, every fiber in her being, her DNA, believed it. The cancer disappeared. You just have to know that you're already out of the bad situation, fab. And anyone else who's in a bullshit bad situation, you just have to know. You have to be the world. You are the universe in a physical form. That's why I said to you when I died, I was you and you was me. I was the nurse was me. It's just fractals. All of you guys are fractals of me. All of you, I am fractals of you. I'm just you in this body. And then my daughter is me. I am my daughter. Just bits of God blasted out into all different beings to have experiences in the physical world, so we can all align, evolve and grow, so our world can be just as high vibrational frequency as all of the other dimensions out there. I'm from a water planet. I've always said to you, I was a mermaid. I'm starting to believe that in another lifetime I must have been a fairy, because I've got fairy vibes. I've got fairy vibes. And I always say, you guys who have anemia, you're definitely a part of the angel realm. 100%. You're a part of the angelic realm. Ice cream. I'm part of the fairy realm, I think that. And I say, if you're anemic, get raw honey, because raw honey is going to purify and activate your DNA. I could do with an ice cream. Are you in the kitchen? Where's my little slave that I gave birth to? Get me an ice cream, hurry up. No, she's not. She's outside. Me and my bestie was talking this morning, and she was like, I was telling the little one to do that and to do this. And I was like, yeah, but that's why we gave both of them, so they can do the chores. Okay, so what was I saying? I was telling you lot off. So Fab, I hope I answered your question. I had to put it like from my perspective of being on the street. That's a bad situation and not having, I don't know what else. I've had many bad situations in my life, but that was a moment in time where that was a moment in time where I was so in it that I never thought I was going to get out of it, because we believe it so badly when you're in such a traumatic when you're in such a traumatic moment, because it's only a moment and that moment passes you by. And so I use that as an example. So I hope that kind of answers your question at least. This chair is not doing me any, it's so hot, it's cloth. I'm dying over here. Oh God. Alright, maybe I could sit on that. You just have to know. That's how you manifest. You just know. It is a knowing. When you know, your DNA is like, oh, we just know we're going to get better. We are better. It's gone. What was the problem in the first place? You just know. That's how you manifest quickly. You just know. You blast out a frequency of electricity from the electromagnetic force field around your heart, that you send the energy out. And because everything is pulsating in the world, there are things that our physical eyes that can't see, that when you are meditating, you start to unlock those superpowers that we all have within us. But when you start to meditate, you'll start to see orbs and auras around people. You'll start to see another sun in the sky. You'll start to see another sun in the sky. You'll start to see 2 moons. You'll be able to see other planets without using a telescope, because the veil will be so thin that you're able to access the other dimensions, like I was and my mum was. So we were able to access Tinkerbell's world, where she would fly into our house and she'll be like this ball of orange. And my mum both saw it. Can't be 2 people seeing the same thing. We're not going crazy. Did you see that? And you know you've had times like that. Did you just see that? Did anyone just see a shadow walk past? Did anyone just see that light? Did anyone just see? There's always something that strange that will happen. It's like the beginning of your ascension and your awakening when you see these things. But when you meditate and you really go inwards, or you drum, or I know I'll do a video of what I do. I still don't understand why you lot want to see it, but okay. But like a day in the life of a tarot reader, I will do that, and I'll show you what I do in terms of like how I meditate, what I do, how I line things up around me when I sit in the middle of my floor, drumming, the singing bowl, what I have in the morning, like my vitamins, and I'll do all of that stuff, because I know that you lot want to know. I don't want to do it while my daughter's here, because if I'm going to do it from the like waking up in the morning, I don't want her to and you see her somewhere in the background snoring, she'll really tell me off. So I'm like, wait for her to go home. She's been with me since the heat wave, because it's too hot in her house. Her house is like really built to sustain heat. So she's like, Mum, I got to stay with you, and she doesn't have a garden as well. So she's like, I need to come stay with you. And I was like, okay, how long do you think you're going to be with me? And she was like, until the heat wave is over. And I'm like, that's a really long time away though, isn't it? Fuck. Alright, so let's start. We've got about 19 people in here. That should be alright. Does anyone believe in reincarnation? I'm sure everybody does in here. Or is there any questions that you want to know about it? I will talk to you about it though. I believe in reincarnation. Definitely do. 100%. 100%. It works for me. Yeah. Good. Yes, I do good. Hey, Yvette. Wow, Irene. How fast can one come back? It's up to you. You have to understand that we don't just have free will here. I said I will do it. You just know. So that's a really good question, Gina. How fast can one come back? As soon as possible. If you really, really want to come back into the physical world, you can come back as soon as possible. Or you can choose to stay there and do it from the other side. But the thing about heaven and the thing about the other side is there is nothing bad goes. There's no illness over there. There's no sickness over there. We look down as a spirit, as a soul on earth and going, oh my God, I wonder what it feels like to get my leg chopped off. I wonder what that feeling feels like. I wonder what it feels like. Like there was a Marine. I don't know if I talked to you about this the last time, but there was a Marine and she was in the line of duty and she was in Afghanistan. And what happened to her was they blew up her truck. Did I talk about this the last time? They blew up her truck. Her soul leaves her body and she was like, oh my God, what's going on here? And what she said that she saw, it's not like everyone else's near-death experience is different. So they blew up her truck and the bottom part of her leg was missing. And as she was above her body, you have no attachments to your body or this life. When you cross over, you're just like, yeah, whatever. I'm good. I'm good to go because this energy of peace is so beautiful that I don't even want to be back in my physical body. So she talks about how the way that she was floating above her body, first it was the standard scene, a soul looking at their body with no attachments to it, looking at the ambulance and everyone coming in. But then with her, they changed the scene into numbers. So it's like, you know, in the Matrix, when Neo looks at all of these green numbers and everybody was made of numbers. So that's how she started to see this universe. This is why they say you're plugged into the Matrix. It's a game. It's a computer game. You can never make any mistakes. You can never be wrong. That's from Wolf's message. I love that about Wolf, the guy who got hit by lightning. But I watched a near-death story experience with this woman. That might have been his message, but this is separate from Wolf's one. So I'm watching a near-death experience story, and this woman was like, so I see the scene as I would see it, like I'm looking at everything now, the trees. But then all of a sudden, it's like all the colors, everything in the world disappeared and everything turned into sequence, like numbers. So she was like, oh my God, look at that. I can rewind, put my body back in the car, and then I can see the bomb, and then I can move the bomb away. Oh my God. And she's laughing at this point. So she's in spirit form. She's looking at what just happened to her. Her tractor got blown up. Her leg is outside the car window. Her leg's missing. And she's rewinding the scene. And she's like, oh my God, I forgot. This is all a game. We're plugged into the Matrix. We're not meant to be here forever. That body is an avatar. So my soul is the actual alive being. It's the alive spirit, the soul in me. And I chose and I picked her to be my avatar. I picked to be in the military, a Marine. I picked to go through war. I picked to go to Afghanistan. I picked to have my leg blown off. And she's laughing because she's like, oh my God, look, I can put my leg back on. So in her mind, she's rewinding the scene of what just happened to her while she's out of her body. So then her spirit guides, and then she sees Jesus. You can stay or you can go back. But if you don't go back, you have to come back again to fulfill your soul blueprint. because you haven't fully fulfilled what you were supposed to learn and do, which is what you asked to learn. It is your avatar. That's why Avatar was so good as well, because the way they transferred that guy into the avatar body is so funny. Because when I died, do you remember in the Avatar movie when he goes into that thing, and then all of a sudden you see like this tunnel, a tunnel of white light, and then he opens his eyes and then he's in the avatar. That's the tunnel that I went through. I went through a tunnel when I had my open heart surgery, and I came out into the white light of heaven. And then I saw my grandparents, angels and guides and loved ones. I'm like, that is so right, how they transfer consciousness, because our soul is the consciousness plugged into this body. That's why when you look at a dead body, you're like, that's not my mum, that's not my dad, that's not my auntie. The essence of who she was, which is the chi, the life force energy, gone. What? You haven't watched it? Oh my God, I've got to pay for I'm waiting for the one on Prime to go down, because there's Avatar something fire. There was like the water world. First it was the tree. I was obsessed with that movie, because that's where I belong. That's my world. The water world one, definitely. Whales, dolphins, yes man. Swimming, oh hell yeah. I never saw it either. What's wrong with you lot? Nah, turn all your lights off, man. Watch the first Avatar, the second one, and the third one is out. Something about fire. Oh no, I haven't watched the last Avatar 2. I still have to wait. I'm still waiting, because it's recently come out in the cinema a couple of months ago, and it's like £16 to rent it. I'm going to wait for it to go to £4, and then I'll rent it. I've only seen half of it. This is my kind of world. That's why I love it. I will watch it. Like when I went to go and watch Avatar, I think it was with my sister, she's fucking snoring. I'm like, look at these amazing massive leaves that actually really do exist in another dimension. Dragons exist in another dimensions, fairies, tree people, dwindies, little small leprechauns, they all exist. Fairies, mermaids, all of these things exist, just in another dimension. And it's not that far from ours. We just have to peel the veil, remove the veil. How do we do that? Bloody meditate. What is her name? The woman who interviewed Wolf, the medium who interviewed Wolf's mum and dad, she said it took 3 years to activate me talking to spirit. 3 years. And she said, I've been meditating for 8 years. She said, and for me it was really easy. Like I can connect straight away. My consciousness already goes out of my body. So when I'm doing a reading for somebody, if somebody wants me to connect to their loved one, I'm already out of my body and I'm already up there. So I'm like, all right, what do you want me to tell them? So give me something that I would never know. And something came up on my live the other day, and they were like, oh my God, I was just thinking that. And I go, what a random thing to say though. It's not something common to say. So it's like I get that filtered through because I meditate, because I know how to still my mind and calm my mind. And don't get me wrong, I'm still an asshole and I still like get irritated, but I'm more open. I'm able to see and pierce the veil. So like when you are highly, like when your consciousness is not just inside of you're able to connect, pull the conscious not just in but out into the outside world. You will be able to see fairies. You will be able to see your loved ones. You will be able to see like the 2 suns and the 2 moons that actually do exist. You will be able to see all these other planets. You will be able to see all of these creatures, these gnomes, these little people. You'll be able to see all of it. You'll be able to communicate with the flowers. You'll be able to communicate with the animals. They'll be able to tell you what they need and what they want. It's a universal language of consciousness. It's talking through telepathy. And this is something that we all are able to do, and we're all born with it. But we were born through the energy of forgetfulness. And I asked God, I said, why do we forget? Why would you do that? Why would you make us come into this harsh world and make us forget about death, or make us forget about where we came from? Because if you remembered in the physical body, you will not be, what are you doing there? You're not learning anything. You have to learn from scratch, from brand new. It's like the soul reawakening every time it's reincarnated in. The soul having different lessons every time it's reincarnated in. So what I've heard with reincarnation and through my studies is that what happens when someone loses a child before birth? Does that soul live? Souls doesn't die. Souls doesn't die. And I've lost 2 children. Is it 2? No. 3 children. I've lost 3 children. So it is a soul agreement between the mother and the child before you reincarnate into the physical body that you have chosen. Before you've chosen your experiences, you have an agreement. And that a soul doesn't die. Your soul will never die. That's why I don't care if I leave this physical body, because I will be in soul form, or I could come back again, which I don't think I'm planning on coming back anytime soon, but I might do because I have a child. That's why I only have 1 kid, because when you've got like 7 or 8 kids, you've got some serious fucking karma. If you've got 13 brothers or sisters, you've got some serious karma. It's like, no. I didn't want to have a child. I had an abortion when I was 18. I was in a violent relationship. We had no money, nowhere to go. There's no way in hell I was bringing a child into this world. And then I got pregnant again with my daughter. And then I was in a relationship. No, I was in a connection with this guy. This guy was a bit of a mummy's boy, and he was a bit of a player. So I was like, and I got pregnant with him, and I was like, I can't do this. This doesn't feel right. So I had an abortion, and then I had a miscarriage with a partner that I was with for 3 years. And it didn't help that, you know, each to their own, but it didn't help that in the situation that I was in with my last miscarriage, it was just, I mean, the guy that I had a miscarriage with, he liked to dress up in dresses and fishnet stockings and high heel shoes. That's fine, but I'm a very dominant woman. I need a man's man. All love to, yeah, I know, serious life story. I need to write it down on a piece of paper. I need to write it down in the book. Fuck me. But yeah, so that's, and then when I think, like, the soul of the child and me, we had an agreement, like, no, mum, I'm not coming in for this. And then, so I miscarried. And our children are always with us. They're always on the other side watching over us. They're protecting us. And some children, of course I didn't know. I came into the room one day after going a long day in college. I walk into our bedroom and he's fucking wearing fishnet stockings and high heel shoes and a fucking black satin dress. Even I don't have that shit. I don't have a black satin dress or fucking like fishnet stockings. Why the fuck does he have it? I'm just not about that life. Each to their own. Do your thing, mate. But if I knew that you were like that, you should have told me. I just needed to get fully informed, because I would have probably not had that. I love him. He was a great guy. No, I didn't know that about him. I need a man's man. I need a dominant man. I don't need a man in a dress. I didn't know. I had no idea. Like, I've no judgment. Wear your dress, wear your high heels. But I am looking for a man's man. That's just me. That's just my preference. I'm not looking for a man who wears dresses like me. No. And the thing is, the guy was, I love him. He was a good guy. And he loved my daughter. So I love him, and I could never, like, I will never hate him because he's just a good guy. But no, I'm not fucking dating a man who's wearing dresses. Fuck that. And I was with him for 2 years. But he's a beautiful soul. I love him. He's a good guy. Better than her dad, tell you that. Still can't do the dress though. Sorry, no. And he looked better in that dress than I did. I was like, oh, hell no. Yes, he was a better father to my daughter than my daughter's father. So I will never, ever, I love him. He was a good guy, and he's still a good guy. But I'm just like, yeah, no, can't do it, man. I'm a very dominant woman. I take care of myself. I need a man to just be a little bit, you know, dominating. There can't be two women in this relationship. There can't be two women in this relationship. No. Great guy for someone else. Exactly, yeah. Good for him. I saw him recently and I was like, what the fuck? Because he was very Bruce Lee, like, in his body. Like, because he's like 6 foot something, and he was very Bruce Lee with his body. But I saw him, and he, like, lately, and he really bulked up, like, a lot of muscles. And I was like, yeah, no. Still not going to take away from the fact that you wear a dress. Now, could you imagine? He's a muscle man right now, and he's wearing fucking tight dresses. That's just like a sight for sore eyes. So, Anna, can you see for us, but not for yourself? What are you asking? See what? Yes, me too. I'm tired of being dominant, and I want to be a little soft now. I know, we're too much, aren't we, Serenity Rose? What do you mean, as in, like, do you mean reading tarot, or my about the guy? Did you see that? I didn't see it. And at the time, this was before my open heart surgery. Do you pull cards for yourself? I do, but I get in my own way. So if I pull cards for myself and go, does he love me? Obviously my brain is going to translate it. Yes, he does, but he's busy right now, or he's not. And the cards are saying, no, he doesn't like you. No, he doesn't want to be with you. No, he's in another relationship. You're not even thinking. And these are blatantly what the cards are saying to me. But in my mind, I'm going, oh, he does love me, but he's really busy with another woman at the minute. You know what I mean? So it's like, I tell myself what I want to hear. That's why I don't like reading for myself. But I do pull cards. The only thing that is, I do definitely pull would be like oracle cards, a guided message. I will never pull more than one card if I need a card of the day. That's why I do. I used to do the card of the day for myself, but I was like, maybe I should do this for the collective, and it actually works. Brian from Stepping Stones in the UK. So you can check out Stepping Stones. It's like esoteric shop where they sell tarot, they do readings, they sell crystals, herbs and spices, and Brian reads for me. Go check him out. He's amazing. I see everyone, but I don't see me. I don't see me. Brian from Stepping Stones, the one thing that me and him have in common is we were connected to each other in a past life. So he has a bit of Mark Anthony's energy, and I had Cleopatra's energy. So there's Cleopatra in everybody, because remember when I said fractals of ourselves? So there would be like, because I would have really weird dreams of being in Egypt, wherever she was, and it felt like so Cleopatra, and I never understood that, and I never ever spoke about it to anybody. It was just something that I felt deep within my soul. But there are fractals of Cleopatra in different people, and it would be because you could have been a maid of Cleopatra, you could have been a lover of Cleopatra, you could have been a security guard of Cleopatra, and her energy is intertwined with yours. And remember, we're all connected and we're all one. So there will be fractals of Cleopatra in all of these people. Now, the only reason why I knew that I had a connection to Cleo was simply this. When I was doing my reading with Brian, he said, do you know, I've got fractals of Mark Anthony inside my DNA. And he goes, and I recognize you. When I look at, when you peel off the face of Anna, I see Cleopatra with you. So you, and Mark Anthony apparently and Cleopatra, were they lovers? I can't remember. They were together. And Brian is a medium. I'll tell you what else happened to Brian. That's why I get a reading from him. Not that, I didn't even know until he told me. Number one, he lived with the Dalai Lama for 11 years. Number two, He was stabbed in the heart 4 times. He should have died. He had a near-death experience and he came back. I've had many other readers. He's the best one. I had another lady from Stepping Stones. I get all my mediums from Stepping Stones. I feel like they're all good, but Brian was like, what the fuck? The things that Brian told me, he should have never known about. He could never know about. Hey, Donna. It was amazing. Blown away. Because no one can read me. No one. I'm like Bella. I'm like Bella from Twilight. And he was like, why can't I read your thoughts? And then it was because she was a block or some shit like that. Her superpower was blocking energy. Blocking. But the only one who could see me, like Brian he freaks me out. He would say things like, do you live near a wooded area? Because I see trees all around you. And I'm like, I live in a cemetery and there's trees all over the place. Like, how the fuck would he know that? So there's trees all over the place. And then he goes, he keeps showing me, and I always used to, when I first used to get a reading, I used to wear like tops really high, so I don't give anything away. And then he would say things like, I keep seeing there's something going on with your heart. It's like you're meant to do this work. Did something happen to you as a child? And then I'll be like, open heart surgery 4 times. And he's like, what the fuck? And he was like, I got stabbed in the heart 4 times. What are the chances of that? 4 open heart surgeries. He got stabbed in the heart 4 times. Mark Anthony, Cleopatra. And now he lives in Portugal. So there are fractals of ourselves in everything and everyone. So that was a good question. The non-readers find me a mystery. That sounds about right. I didn't see that about that guy, no. I met this guy before I had my near-death experience. You have to remember that I've always had the ability, but I always thought I was weird. And I didn't want to have the abilities. I didn't want to be the odd one. I didn't want to be the only one that could see spirit. I didn't want to be the one that could make predictions. I didn't want to be that. Because it would mean that I'm different from everybody else. It took me years to get here. Being different is actually fucking amazing. And I don't want to be like everybody else. But it took me years to become a mum, to take care of my mum, to do the mundane, and then get into the spiritual work. It took me a while to realize that we're not meant to be like each other, because we're all unique in our own way, and we're meant to bring that uniqueness into the physical world and share it with everybody else. So when Brian reads me, yeah, it's amazing. He's able to tap into something that no one else could tap into, and I love that about him. And he always said to me, because I wanted to go to the Arthur Findlay College. The Arthur Findlay College is a school for psychics and mediums. And you go there for like a week. They give you a room. They give you breakfast, lunch and dinner. But for the whole week, you're literally meditating. You're with a whole bunch of mediums and psychics. And it helps you to open and tune your abilities. Fine-tune the abilities that are locked up in your DNA that are lying dormant. And I wanted to go there. And I said to him, do you think I should go to the Arthur Findlay College? And he goes, you don't need to, because you go direct. And he's so right. It's like, he's so right. Like all of the mediums that have read for me, they were all great. They were all good. But Brian, I just have a connection to, is probably the Mark Anthony thing. But what they all said to me is, one of the mediums said to me, you can do trance mediumship. Trance mediumship is allowing spirit to talk through my vocal cords. To me, that's a bit creepy as fuck. Because I don't want to be talking to you lot and then all of a sudden my voice changes to some 7-year-old little boy. Like, that's creepy for me. And I was told, and they said to me, and this is the other person who said to me, you're in both worlds. Of course I am. I died. I still have that piece of me with me. So when the first medium spoke to me, she said to me, you have natives around you. And then Brian told me that. No, I got his book, her book, because Abraham channels through this woman. Yeah, but she comes in with her own voice. Trance mediumship, where she was telling me, was that, could you imagine if a granny from like the 17th century comes in, and then your voice is completely, your vocal cords completely changes, or you come out as this man with a deep voice, that would scare the crap out of you, know? It's like, oh my God, is she possessed or what? Obviously not, but I was told that who knows, I might be doing it one day. Who the hell knows? But trance mediumship is me going in a trance and allowing the soul to use my vehicle, my vessel. I don't do that. I don't do that now. I say, tell me what you want them to know. You ain't coming inside my body. You're like ghost. Hell to the no. Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore. No thanks. Just tell me what you want them to know. Give me signs, symbols, all of this stuff. She comes in at different decibel levels when she channels. I would sound lovely. I don't know about that. Yes. And that's why I love regression. Being hypnotized. Going into the deepest conscious part of yourself. Unlocking all of your traumas from all your past lives to heal all of the traumas that you carried with you in the now. Why do I have a eating disorder? Why don't I like no light in the room? Why do I not like confined spaces? Why do I hate spiders? Why do I not like snakes? Why am I this? Why am I that? It's all triggering to something that happened to you in a past life. It's all past life energy. So somebody who's obese during this time, they were starved in a past life. They were starved. They had no food. So their form of shielding themselves is eating. Why don't I like spiders? Because you died of a snake bite in a past life. I find that so fascinating. Who knows? You might have had a bad experience with a lizard in a past life. But a lot of people who don't like the dark. You were buried alive. Some people say they were buried alive. Some people say that when they were young, their parents would put them in a little cupboard and lock them in the dark for hours on end. And that was a form of punishment. Some people in a past life was captured and put in a box. And they don't like confined spaces or the dark. There's many reasons as to why you might not like what you like. Why am I afraid of heights? I was showed when I did a regression on myself that I was pushed off. I was out of the aeroplane, and they showed me that I was also pushed down. I don't know if it was a cliff or the top of the stairs, but that's one of the reasons why I'm afraid of heights. It's all connected. And when you don't express, you suppress the energy from all your past lives, you gather up trauma in the body, which is why you bring it into this lifetime now. So when you're saying, why am I scared of lizards or the dark, Ms. Lotus, you might have a bad experience with a lizard. You might have got bitten by one and it traumatized you. Past life regression heal cancer. I'm not saying not to take your medicine and all this shit, but it unlocked the unconscious part of you. So cancer is always, depending on where the cancer is always built up trauma from past time and past lives. And sometimes people choose to have cancer. I sleep with my light on, buried alive, locked in a cupboard as a child. These are all, there's always a reason for all things of why we have a fear attached to us. So when I talk about reincarnation, I found something to be like really interesting. So the one thing that I learned about reincarnation is it's a couple of things, okay? Reincarnation, you still have free will. So you can stay on the other side and help your loved ones from the other side, Or you could come in, if you want, to balance out karma into dharma, to help a family member. So you might choose to be a parent who has an addiction. You know, you might choose to be that way. Or you might choose to be an evil parent who molests their child. So you might come in to be a guardian for children who have been molested by their parents. You would be a form of protection, a parent that they never had. You know, you would give advice because you've survived it. There's a reason for all negative things. So, reincarnation is one of two things. Balancing out karma into dharma, trying to help somebody out, you know, helping. Sometimes we have what we call the volunteers, so they can see that the world is being torn apart. So they choose to be born in as a light being. So when they come and walk the earth, their light alone expels out to all the people around them, sending them love frequency. And then that love frequency that goes on to that person that are around them is also going to ripple out love frequency. So do you understand, like, the ripple effect? So if you're rippling out love energy where you are, you're sending that frequency out to your neighbors, to the people that are around you, and your ripple effect affects them in a good way. They create a ripple effect from their physical body, thus creating ripple effects all over the world of good vibrations. So some people reincarnate just to be light beings, light walkers, just to give love. Some people say, like, why is it that person always got an easy life? Like, why has that person got such an easy life? And in all my life, I was struggling. I didn't have this. Anyone ever said them words there? You look at somebody and you go, why is your life so easy? And why is my life been so fucking hard? It's like, what the fuck? Has anyone ever said that to themselves? Do you want to know why? People that skate, I've heard that said before, yes. People that skate through life and living life blissfully and peacefully, you're in a what is called a resting place. So it's one or two things. The people who are skating through life during this time frame, who just, like, everything just appears for them, is skating through life because they're in a rest phase of their spiritual evolution. And one of the reasons is going to be because of what they had, the past life that they had, which was toxic. Raped, murdered, mother was abusive, father was abusive, foster home abusive, sleeping on the street, drunk, drugs, demons, devils. That's the past life energy. And because they have learned their lessons and cleansed their soul and learned of those evil things that had happened to them from childhood up until the moment that they died, it was like, I'll be born again. I want to have a peaceful, restful life. It's called the rest period. Or, so that's one of the reasons that they had a past life which was fucked. Or the other possibility is that they're having a rest period in this life because the next lifetime that they're coming into is going to be wild, crazy ass, fucked up. But then she breezed through life, died young, after 5 years, battled cancer. So does that make sense? People breeze through life because they're going through a respite. This is the resting, preparing themselves for something even traumatic in the future or in the next life. Or they might have already having a rest period in the physical world and having things easy come to them because of the life that they lived prior to this lifetime. And that's why they have that rest period. So, do you know, I don't know if you're still in here, Fab. Do you want to know the quickest way to manifest changes in your life? I feel it's to do with past life. It really is. To me, it did. With lots of money too, yeah. So the quickest way to manifest, and you can give it a go, you don't have to, is to find your happy song and sing it all day long. If you can do it every day, it changes the frequency of you. It changes your vibration. You're sending out thoughts while you're singing this song because you're in a happy energy. And what you do is you're vibrating a happy energy because you're listening to this positive song that makes you happy, that uplifts your energy. So that's the best thing to do when manifesting what you want, or wanting to make your manifestations come to you sooner rather than later. It's a great way. Singing the song, singing a song that makes you feel happy will change the energy force of you. 10 songs every morning. It changes your frequency. Remember, what you hear is important. What you choose to look at or what you see, it will ring my bell. I like that. Ring my bell. I like that. I like that song. That's a happy song. But you got to find your happy song. What is my happy song? My dad used to play it when he was a DJ. Join the caravan of love, stand up, stand up. Caravan of love. Anyone ever heard that song? Everybody take a stand. Join the caravan of love. That one. Anyone know that? Yeah, that's my happy song. And that's what my dad used to play when I was young, and I love that song. You're my brother. You're my brother, don't you know? I love that song. That's my happy song. Join the caravan of love. Are you joking? You're my brother. Are you joking? I think so. That's the best song, man. That's my happy song. I love that song. So that's what they say. Play the happy song. It changes your energy frequency. It raises your vibration. The Isley Brothers, yeah. It raises your vibration. It raises your frequency. It raises the frequency within you. So you got nothing to lose, guys. And then when you're listening to your favorite song, which is probably going to be the Caravan of Love. It's probably going to end up being the Caravan of Love at some point. You're going to have it a part of your mix. And what you do is when you're listening to that song, think about where you're going to be. Where you're going to be. Think about where you're going to be, where you are. I always say in the now. Think about that. So, reincarnation, we come back because we want to make things right. They always say, yes, man. 352 songs of groove and vibes. I'm an 80s girl, so I've got all of those old school Billy Ocean, you name it. Yeah, Billy Ocean, Diana Ross, Tina Turner. I'm telling you, I've got all of these songs. That's my happy place. Pastime songs. I don't like the music that they make now. It's really shit. Like the music that my daughter's listening to, I'm like, what is this crap? Like, why does everybody talk about twerking and asses and dicks? Like, what is this shit? Like twerking and it's just too much. I've got Kenny Rogers, all of it. Babyface, that I've got all of it. So with reincarnation, there's a few things that I know about the reincarnation. So everything that I just told you, plus they say that when you don't have any children, you don't really come back with like that deep karmic energy. You might have to fix things in life. So I have a cousin who has no kids, who's not married, who's basically has no attachment to anything in the world. You're like, wow, yes. So you know, when you don't have any kids or any attachments here to the physical world, it seems like you don't need to come back, and you don't really have like karma like that, unless there's unresolved energy around somebody that you've upset. So you'd maybe have a bit of karma with that person, and after you dealt with that karma, you'd have a breezy, easy life. I also, with reincarnation as well, reincarnation is you picking your life, picking your sex, picking where you're going to born, the color of your eyes, your date of birth, and you may have birthmarks on your body when you reincarnate to remind you of the planetary system that you came from. Hi Kashni, so you could have come from the Palladian star, the star system. You could come from the Taurus. You know, there's like all of these different stars out there, star seeds. So you'll have like birthmarks as a reminder of where you might have come from. And birthmarks, like I said to you last week, is like portals and marks and maps. It's so good. I was also, when I was doing my reading, I don't think that the divine feminine really understands how powerful we really are. Like, did you know that your blood, your monthly cycle, is a sacred blood? I've always known, my mum always says it's a cleansing and a purging out, but it's sacred blood. And when I was looking and doing my research and doing my readings, I found that years and years ago, they used to put their period blood, I know it sounds grim and gross, but they used to put their period blood on their third eye, because apparently it activates the energy, and you're a seer. And there's in Avalon and in Atlantis, there's something about the red crystals that are really, really important. Really important. Like red crystals, like agate, anything anything that's red, like red crystals are like really important. So red crystals are really important. Obviously crystals are from earth, and it carries information, just like I said with the honey. So the bees are the bees communicate through honey, and communicate through when they go This is why I said people who have anemia, you're connected to that realm. The bees, the fairies. That's why taking honey, like honey with a honeycomb, and chewing the honeycomb and getting all the honey out of it, it unlocks a DNA energy in you. And I tell you, I've been having it for about a week and a half now, and I don't have any pains in my body. The honey. And I'm not telling you to get a big scoop and then like all your teeth is going to fall out of your head. I'm just talking about a little scoop, chew it, and then spit out whatever, and just like twice, if you got bad sugar levels, once a week, twice a week. It is a very it's sacred blood. Humming activates the vagus nerve system too, is that correct? Yeah. Yes. I told you to wake up. I said to you last week, I think it was, one way to open up your third eye is to block your ears and go Now what I also found in my research is people with red hair, green eyes with hues of different colors, and has a stigma, if I remember correctly, you are like psychic and from the Palladium starseed or something like this. Can't remember what I said last week. I think, yeah. Yes, humming does activate all those things. Yes. We are songs. Our voices are a stigma, yeah, in the eyes. Red hair, green eyes with hues of little colors in it, a stigma. And then you've got anemia as well. You are like angel. You got angel blood from the Palladian starseed energy. You're like angel energy. And angels and fairies connect to the honey, because if you look at Tinkerbell, she's outside in nature. So she's with the nature, she's with the animals, you know, with the forest. So she connects to that energy. So it's all of these things in one, nothing but love. Red hair, green eyes with hues of different colors, and anemia. Psychics, connected to the fairy realm, also connection to Palladian star planet. So we all have alien DNA within us, all of us. We all have it. There are people walking on Earth right now that is a Palladian. They'll always look a little bit more beautiful, very pale and light in skin, really chinky, or just like weird features that are very unique, not compared to everybody else. It's like, I know everybody else looks different, but they have a specific energy or aura about them, a different look about them. It's like standing next to them, you already feel healed. It's that sort of energy. So with reincarnation, you can come back if you want to. It's up to you. But there's a lot of volunteers now in the physical world being born into the physical world because they want to help with the next evolutional stages of Mother Earth, of the universe. There's all of these things that are being activated now. It's crazy. So a lot of us are going to start to see the alien spaceship, which you think is crazy, but it's not. A lot of you are going to start to see like orbs of light flying by when you're in your garden or even in your house. A lot of you will start thinking that you saw something, but you're going crazy, but you're not. A lot of you will be astral traveling and projecting, so you'll be tired more. You know, you'll be more tired in the physical body. So you need to light your body and lighten your mind. So getting rid of stress and lightening up your body energy, which is what I'm trying to do. Get rid of all of this repressed energy that I feel, suppressing my pain with food. I got to get rid of this weight because I want to be light of body and light of mind when we are changing into the dimension. Because remember, some people will be left behind, some people will go forward. The people that are going to be left behind are the people that are completely not even skeptical, but they are just so, they don't believe in anything. They've come here to have the human experience, not believe in God, not believe in anything, don't believe in what you're saying. This is a load of woohoo. Those are the people that could be left behind because they might want to choose by their belief system that they wanted to have a full-on human experience and not remember that connection to source. Because you are source anyway. Go back to it. So when I was doing my research, it really has spoken about women, like us women, and the power within us to give birth to life. It's like, it's crazy. Do you think that that'll be the outcome if the war is? That's not on my timeline. I don't associate to the war. It might be happening outside of me, but I will not see. I'm not going to see this in my timeline. I don't want it in my timeline. I rebuke it. I do not put words like that in my energy field. I do not watch the news. I only hear what I hear because everyone else is talking about it, and I say, I'm not political, I don't want to know. And it's like, and then my daughter, she was like, how could you want to know? There's people dying out there. And I go, no, there's people going home. Look at it differently. There's people dying out there, Mum. And I was like, no, there are people going home. We're going to go home. We're all going home. Doesn't matter how we go home. It doesn't matter whether it's through illness or it's through a war or it's through whatever. We're all going home. I don't look at it like how my daughter pointed it out. And I get it. That's a very physical way of looking at it. She's very planted in the physical world, you know. So and I get it. And she will look at those things that are negative. Not on my timeline. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to know about it. And it's not because I don't care. It's because I would rather be a part of the frequency that sends out love energy, laughter energy. Because remember, energy is rippling out to everyone else around you. So I can choose to be a part of the negative narrative, or I can choose to be a part of the narrative that is high vibrational. We need more people high vibrational. Too many people in the world are starting wars. Now, could you imagine if 100,000 people wanted to start a war, but like 1 billion people were like, no, we're not about that. Don't take our, we're going to win, aren't we? We're going to win. So it always has to be positive over negative in all aspects of your life. Your emotions, what you say, what you choose to feel. This is all you. It's you. So if your belief system is we're going to be in war is coming, you're a part of that timeline. I am not a part of this timeline. I rebuke that. And no, people are not dying. People are going home. We're going home. Anyone who chooses to sign out because of that word, it's because they chose to end their energy, their lifetime here on the physical world because they're fucking done with this shit and they're going back home. It's not that they're dying, they're just going home. We do not die. We don't die. We don't die. And if you think that you've only just been Mo or Gina or Serenity Rose, Irene or Gemma or Miss Lotus, you think you've been just this energy that you are, Sylvia, sorry, you're wrong. You've had many lifetimes. You've been many names. You've been a woman and a man. You've been black and you've been white. You've been rich and poor. You've been a mermaid and a fairy. That's why you're anemic. You've been everything and anything that ever has existed in the dream world where they make up stories and they say it's only a story. There's no such thing as this, that, and the other. No, there is. Everything exists. Everything exists. Everything. Everything good and everything dark. It all exists. And what do people think happens to people that take their lives? Oh, that's a very good question. Well, first of all, I'll tell you not to do it, because you're going to have to come back and go through it again. And this time it's going to be harder. So if I had parents that were abusive, my mother was an alcoholic. So my mother didn't realize that my father was touching me up in the room when I was 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, until I was 10. Until I was 10 years old. And that's enough to commit suicide, right? That your parents were alcoholics, druggies, and my father molested me, and my mom knew it was happening, but she chose to ignore it. And then I went to school and I was bullied. And then I was just like, everyone told me I was ugly, and then I ate food and I put on weight, and I don't want to be here anymore. No one cares about me. My life is done. I don't want to be here. I hate this life. Why am I here? And then you complete suicide, and you complete it and you take your own life. You're going to be greeted by your loved ones. They'll put you through the healing room with all these sparkly lights. And then your guys are going to be like, you're going to have to go and redo it. You're going to have to do it all over again. You did it. You signed a contract. You chose to experience this so your soul can evolve and grow. You ended your contract sooner. You can stay here for however long you need to, but you need to go back. And this time it's going to be harder, because every time you don't complete your life path, your soul path, your blueprint, you have to go in and learn harder and do it again and again and again. Do it again and again and again. You have to keep doing it until you learn the bloody lesson. Mission is not complete. Mission was not complete. And you have free will to take your life or not to take your life. I was working in Citibank in Canary Wharf many moons ago. And there was one day I came to work, and it's a beautiful building. It's so high up, whatever. I come into work one day. Groundhog. Does that answer your question, Irene? What happened to people who take their lives? Just have to do it again. You're not going to burn in hellfire. You chose to do it. You chose to come in. You chose to have those experiences. And then you chose to end your life before your contract's over. Because you have to understand that even though something is so bad, like everything that I said, parents, alcoholic, druggies, molested me when I was a child, I was beaten badly, beaten till a pulp, bullied in school. There is that bad segment of your life, but then you haven't stayed in long enough to see the beautiful part, the best segment of it, the whole reason why you went through it. You didn't even give it a go. You didn't even give it a chance. You just wanted to end it because you wanted an easy way out. You can have your easy way out, but you're coming back again. Because look what would happen if you had stayed in the body. In 4 years, you would have got healing. In 5 years, you would have got married. In 6 years, your mother would have said, apologize. In 7 years, your father would have left you a note and said, I know I did was wrong. Please forgive me. I'm sorry for what I did. You missed out on, and then the birthing of your 3 children, who, by the way, are star seeds, are going to help for the frequency of the you weren't meant to kill yourself, because you were meant to give birth to a child who's supposed to help the frequency of the universe. Why'd you go and do that? There's so many reasons for all things. Does that make sense now? How dare you kill yourself, Mum? I was supposed to come in like a year later, you idiot. Now you've got to do it all over again. There's a meaning and a reason for all things. You're not allowed to, you're not allowed to end your life because you're supposed to give birth to a healer. 100%. 1,000,000,000%. Everyone has a gift. Music, listening, good advice, artwork, a therapist, good advice. Sometimes people are born in with the gift of just light. You just have to be the light in somebody's life, and you don't even have to talk to them. You just have to walk through the supermarket with your light energy that you can't see because you haven't meditated, that you can't actually see that you're a light being. So you go in through the supermarket, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, there's the healer. Everyone needs to just absorb her light. Yep, she's coming through. Okay, she's walked past me. And then the next person's going to get it. You just are light. You're just a being of light. And some of you sign in to just be the light. That's why you don't ever... What happens when they die young? I've seen them grow up on the other side. I've seen them grow up on the other side. What I have seen as well was some babies are reluctant to grow until their mother crosses over. I know it sounds so crazy. But what I've seen is on the other side they grow. They go to school, they learn lessons, but they love it. It's not like school here where you just want to, shoot yourself. But over there it's beautiful, it's fun, it's I don't know how to explain it. But so we learn on the other side, we still grow on the other side. We watch the physical world and go, oh my God, what do you think she's going to do? Do you think she's going to do that? Oh, I wish I could talk to her, tell her, and then come down and give us signs and symbols and synchronicities. Don't do that. Turn the other way. Go in this direction. I'm trying to help you. But it's so happened. And when you die young, what I have seen as well was there are some children that, Boss Baby. Is it Boss Baby? Old soul in baby form. Like a proper grown man's voice. And it's like, I've seen that on the other side. I'm like, why is that baby talking like a grown-ass woman? And it's so funny. And it's like, because souls always evolve and grow. But the thing is, some babies are reluctant on the other side. If they die as a baby, they will stay as a baby. And there's like a nursery in heaven where everybody's watching these babies that have died as a child, and they refuse to grow until their mums died, come back into the spiritual realm so that they can grow together. It's the craziest thing. Is it bad religion never taught us any of this? Yes, that's why I'm not a religion. I had a miscarriage at 3 months. Was it only the fetus then? It doesn't matter what it was. The soul can't die. Whether it's a fetus or it's the heartbeat, because it always starts off as a heart, it doesn't matter. That child was not meant to come in, and that child might have come in later on. My daughter passed at 29. She was like, screw this. I'm out. She died young, man. She was like, I'm out of this crap. I'll just watch you from the other side, Mum. And they can help us better. I know this is going to sound crazy, but they have more access to us on the other side. It's weird. There's more power on the other side to help us, direct us where we're supposed to go on the other side. Souls don't die. Your daughter went home when she was 29 because what happened? She completed becoming a lawyer, and then bang. What happened to her? My son passed at 28, 6 days after his birth. Wow, that was so divinely timed. Have you seen your dad after he passed? Yeah, he was sitting in the Brazilian rainforest in a hospital in a dome. Good. What happened to her? Do you know some souls cross back over to the other side? Because some souls are like, I just want to know what it feels like to be in the stomach. I just want to know what it feels like to be a baby. I want to know what it feels like to be in a fetus. I want to know what it feels like to be in my mum's womb. And then when I've had that experience, I'm going to go. I don't really want to go past that. It's free will. You can choose whatever you want. And some children who pass away, or you miscarry, or or the baby dies in your stomach at 7 months old, that child chose to leave at that time. It was her free will. But do you also know that when you lose a child, they could come back as a grandchild, or come back as a child if you're still able to carry? Fragments or fractals of her soul will be embedded in that child. There's no such thing as death. You guys, when you start to not fear death, when you start to realize that, you know, there is nothing to be afraid of, that's when life is going to start being so good. So good. There's no fear of death. Not afraid. Like, my brother's got cancer, right? I think to myself, if he dies, he goes home. If he dies, he doesn't have to, he's filled out his contract. He didn't end it. It was his time. He chose how to die. He chose when to leave. Like, this is his path. He chose it. But when you live in the physical world and you can only look through the eyes on the surface level of things, we don't see the depth and the beauty of what it all means until you cross over to the other side. There's more to this than you think. I cannot, look, I'm so happy that I'm here. I am. I'm happy that I'm able to see the sunrise. I'm happy that I'm able to see the face in my orchid. Something so small. I'm so happy that I'm here for my daughter and I can see the evolution of my kid and even of myself. But did I want to come back here when I crossed to the other side? Just to answer your question, nothing but love. I did not want to come here. I was so detached from Annalisa. I was so detached from the mundane. I was so detached from my body. I loved my family, but I want to be here. I don't want to go back there. That's how it felt. Everything is, you can't make mistakes in the physical world. And even though you do, you're allowed to make them. You're supposed to. How else are you going to learn if you don't make mistakes? Was just going to ask that. My grandson is 5 months. Is it my son? There'll be fractals of your son. So you'll look at your grandson and then he will pull a silly face and that would remind you of your son. Or he might do a silly walk or the way that he walks and you're like, you are exactly like your dad. Next time you look at your grandson, see traits. You'll see traits of your son. He might have a birthmark like your son. Do you know what I mean? Facial expressions like your son. The way he talks. And he'll grow into this energy and you're going to be like, yeah, you're definitely my son. You definitely got your dad's energy in you. There's always fractals of us in the newborn. Always. So could that be a possibility? 100,000,000%. Oh, is it? Is it now? He has the same birthmark? and uses, oh, so there's not even just one thing, there's like 100 things. Same birthmark, and uses his left hand more than his right. My son was a lefty. Fragments of your son. Your grandson was a gift from your son. A bit of me left behind. Still gonna annoy the living daylights out of you, mum, but it's all right. It's my gift to you. Your grandson. There's no loss here, people. You don't lose anyone you love. They've just changed energy form. They're just not in the dense physical body anymore. They're not dead. They don't die. You can't die. This body, yes, it's meant to. Who the hell wants to stay here forever? I don't. For me, death is a warm welcome. There you go. There you go. Every time somebody crosses over to the other side, they always gift you with something. If it's not a grandchild, it's the birthing of a child. They always leave you something. They always gift you something. Your grandson was a gift. Anytime you have a grandchild and you lose a child, that is your gift. That is the gift to you because of the loss of your child. Oh, that's good. Google did that. And they're both Aquarius. Are you serious? You're asking me if that is your son? There's fractals of your son inside your grandson, 100%. So what else did I wanted to talk about? So reincarnation, yes, it's real. It's possible. It's real. You don't have to come back into the physical world if you don't. If you've got a couple of things that you need to fix in the physical world, you'll be born into the same tribe. So I always say that, you know, when, like, if you have a brown-eyed family, you'll come from that. So if you're a brown-eyed family, you're old souls. If there is a member in the family, which was my father, if there's a member in the family that has a different color eye tone or a different color eye, because my father's eyes was like hazel and green, and he had the lightest eyes out of all of us. He comes from a different planetary alignment system, and he has a different life path to us. You know, like his gift was music, so he was a DJ. His gift was a cook. You know, he was always, I always looked at my father as he was gorgeous, so good looking, so fucking charming. He's just gorgeous. And there was an energy about my father, like I can't explain it. And he's a Gemini. Who meets or collects the person that they passed? Let me get my fingers out. First of all, it's always your guardian angel. Sometimes your mother, if you have a contract with your mum, grandmother or granddad, grandfather, guides, angels. Sometimes Jesus comes and collects you depending on your religion. If you're Muslim, Muhammad would come and get you. If you're like Shiva would come and get you depending on your depending on your belief system. That's why I said belief is really important. So these are the people that will come and get you. But you'll always start off with a guardian angel. Like I have a soul agreement. I said to my bestie, you and my mum come and get me. And my dad's probably like, hello, what about me? I'm like, Shivy and my mum come and get me. I told God to come and get me as well. You'll never ever be on the other side and on your own. When I left my body, it was a pull to go through the ceiling. It was like a knowing. It was just I had to go with it. So I was pulled out of the ceiling, go into that tunnel of speed and white light, and then bam, right there. And then my grandparents showed up, and I was like, you're dead, and so are you. Like when I was a child. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then I realized, oh my God, I'm home. Home is heaven. This is not my home. I created it to be my home, but this is what will house me, you know, until my end of days. But I was over there, and then I was like, and I saw Michael, and I was like, is that Archangel Michael with his blazing sword? I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw my shaman and my guides, and I'm like, oh my. That's why I got my brother to draw them. It's just so, it's just so good. It's so good. The other side is so good. Like right now, it's heavy, I'm hot, I'm irritated. You know, when it's too hot, I get a bit of a headache, or I get frustrated. And you don't feel these things when you're in the physical, when you're in the soul body and your spirit body. You don't get agitated or irritated by, you know, the hot weather or traffic or your neighbours being really loud because they're playing loud music up for it. Nothing irritates you over there. You're just good. You're good. You're just good to go. And if you're like, you know what, I'm done with this place, I'm going to go to the moon, then your soul is automatically on the moon. It's just so weird. And you're like, I want to go and see how you know, James is doing. And James is like your best mate. And then you zoom in and you get into your best mate's house and he's sitting there like, you know, I don't know, shagging his bird or something. When I gave my heart to the Lord, it was an experience like I was pulled to the front with a switch. Yeah? Can you tell me? I can. Every time I'm leaving my body now, during this time frame, are you talking about from the hospital? Or are you talking about just recently? Because I'm always out of my body. I'm always traveling. That's why I come back into my physical body exhausted. So I always say that if you slam back into your body and you wake up in the morning and you just had like 8 hours of sleep and you don't know why you're so tired, it's because your soul has been traveling. Your soul leaves the body. With the tall doors when you cross over to the other side. Yes. If you can visualize it, it'll make it even better. But it was my father. It was with my dad. And I know that's how we're all greeted, but that's how they showed me it with my dad. So when my father passed away on the 12th of March in 2025, and he died of cancer, I didn't dream about him for ages. But the problem with this situation was that he was going to all of my siblings, but not me. And I got really angry. I was really pissed off. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you going to, like, so there's, I don't know if I have a picture. So I've got a big brother and a big sister. And then I've got a little brother. So it's my little brother and me, my big brother and my big sister. So these two have a different father. We have the same mum but different dad. But me and my little brother, we have the same dad and the same mum. So how dare my dad go to these two before me? That's why I was pissed off. I was like, they're not even your kids. But they were. Energetic soul spirit, yes, they chose him to be the father. And I was just being a stubborn cow because, you know, I was like, what the fuck are you visiting them? I'm actually your blood. What the hell are you thinking? How dare you? And I was basically having a go at him while he was like already crossed over. But the problem with me is when loved ones cross over from an illness, you need to give them some time because they have to do healing. Some people, it will take 2 weeks for the healing. Some people take 6 months before you see your loved ones. Sometimes people don't need you. You think you need them and you need to hear from them, and they don't see you until after a year because they're still like getting their body cleansed of all the experiences that they've experienced in the physical body when they had cancer, when their body was being chewed and eaten alive by cancer. So they have that long period of healing. So what happened was, I was so mad at my father. Hey, Stephanie. I was so mad at my father that I was like, you know what? I'm not, whatever. I was like, you know what? Whatever. I don't care. So when I stopped caring and I was like, I'm not going to call him. He's probably busy or he's still doing the healing, whatever. I astral projected out of my body. And when I astral projected out of my body, I was in this greenhouse, but it was huge. There was an upstairs and a downstairs, and it looked like a mall, but it was a greenhouse created like a dome, and there was glass everywhere. And outside of this glass dome, you will see trees like in the Avatar. So leaves that are the size of like these massive cushions. So you know, like a normal leaf on a tree, let's just say, like, imagine this leaf. Yeah, imagine this leaf. Imagine this being 1,000 times bigger than this. Imagine that leaf the size of a jumbo tree. So so this, I'll tell you about the doors in a second, but this is how I got to the doors. So it was funny because it was like when my dad was in the dome, it was like a waiting room and there was glass all over. There were trees that covered this dome, but a weird sunlight. It's like it wasn't the sun, but it was brighter than the sun, but I could look directly at it because it didn't hurt my eyes. And I remember I was going up these escalators. My mum was behind me because there's 2 floors to this dome, and it looked like a rest place for souls that have died. So I go up the escalator. There's a round room, all with windows, and you can see the jungle or the forest with these leaves that size. So leaves that look like that, but bigger than my, it's fucking huge. And this is all pouring over this dome that my father is in. So as I'm going up the escalators, I'm looking at all of these beds in a circle, but nobody is there. There was like a bed here, like all the windows, and then here there's like a door and then another bed. And then I go up the escalator and there is a wall. And as I go up the escalator, I turn to my right and I see my dad. And when my father died, I want to show you what my father looked like when he died. Oh, I can't show it to you at the minute. My daughter's on the laptop. But my father, when he passed away, now my father was like the Hulk Hogan to me. My father was a bodybuilder, so he had a great body. He was really good looking, and when he died, he had white hair. His hair was so white, and he was so gaunt and so skinny. His whole face concaved inwards, and he had that, like, you know, the chicken neck, because his skin was so loose from all the treatment that he had, and he just did not look like his gorgeous self. And when I went up the escalators and I saw him in this healing room, this dome, he looked like that. That's what my father looked like. He looked young, gorgeous, black hair, beautiful. In fact, what I've seen on the other side is all of us go back to our 30s. It's like we're in our 30s. Usually we go back to the best time of our lives. Could be when the child was born, or when we got married, or, you know. But yeah, like my father, I'll show you some. So that's my father. That's my dad. And that's my mum. So that's my older brother. It's my sister, my little brother. That's my mum. That's my dad. And that was me. They didn't think I was going to live past that age. So, he's good looking, right? And he had like green hazel eyes. And he was like 22 and my mum was 37 when I was born. Ooh, mum, you little player. So, he looked like that. Yeah, my father, yes, my dad was 22 and my mum was 37 when I was born. And it's so funny because that was the exact same age with my young guy. I was 37. He told me he was 28. He turned out to be 22, the little fucking liar, just to get in my knickers. Still allowed him in there anyway because I wanted it. I was like, I was old, but I was still getting myself a young man. Go, mum. But apparently that was like crazy. But their gap is different. So my mum and dad is like 15 years of a gap. Me and about 15, 13. No, that's a lie. I'm worse. I'm worse. Oh shit. I think pun intended, yeah. I think my mum was like 12 years or 13 years older than my dad, and I was 15 years older than the other one. It was just that we met at the same time. Nothing wrong with getting in with a younger man, I know, right? So anyway, so when I saw my dad in this dome, in the healing dome in heaven, he had black hair, he looked gorgeous, and he didn't say much. So my mum sat down in the corner, because I don't know what she was doing, and he looked at me and he smiled. And then he went to the window, and then he put his head up against the window, and he was looking at the leaves, and it began to rain. And it was like the Brazilian rainforest. And it started to rain, and these huge leaves. And I looked at my father and I was like, he's okay. He's good. And then that was that dome that he was in, like the care dome, where they heal you before you cross over to the other side. And then I was focusing on my dad again, and I was thinking about my father, and I was watching all of the old videos that me and him took and pictures that we took 2 weeks before he died, because he would call me every day, 2 weeks. I'm not doing any readings today. I'm just doing talk. So I was looking about everything that happened with me and my father, and then I was so intertwined in his energy that I had another out-of-body experience. But this time I'm in, I don't know what it's called, a stadium, a hall, a church. I don't know what it was. All I know was that it went on for miles. This place that I was in stretched out. It was like if there was like a concert and it was outside in a field, but there was like walls everywhere, but it was walls that you could not, I don't know how to explain it. It was like there were walls, but there's no walls. It was like the walls were made of clouds. There was walls there, but the walls were so big, and it didn't feel like closed in, but it was huge. And it was like I was somewhere with doors. And it's like, when I look to like the crowd, I just saw these doors that go all the way up past the like a Colosseum, yeah. And it was like I saw this door in front of me, giant. It was a giant door. I don't even know. It's like we would be that small, and if this is like the ground, and then we're like the people like this small. It was above the clouds. That's how high it was. Just it was above the clouds. And I could see clouds, because the clouds, it was like the wall were made of clouds. But in this room, there was millions of heads. There was heads all over it. And I'm going like this, and I'm like, it feels like I'm in a concert. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I see these massive doors that reach all the way to the top. So high. I don't know how tall it was. It was just huge. And I'm looking, I'm like, geez, there's so many people here. I mean, the heads for miles. It's like this place was because it's heaven. It was a never-ending situation going on here. And it's to my right, it's all the way at the back, and it's all the way over there, and behind me there's all these people around me. And I'm just like, what is going on? And then I can hear everyone talking and they're all happy and they're all like dancing, and it was such a high vibration frequency. It was in heaven, so the frequency was so high. Hi, Lady J. And then it was like a trumpet. It was like this loud blows to get everyone's attention. And then I remember everyone going, oh my God, he's coming, he's coming. And I'm like, oh my God, who? Jesus. I was like, Jesus is coming, he's coming through the door. And they're like, he's coming, he's coming. And everyone's whispering this because there's this loud trumpet that has been blown off. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm there fiddling with like I don't know if I was messing, because I remember my hand was going like this. And it was like I was fixing like a fanny pack or something. I don't know, I was doing like this. I remember doing these actions when I was there, like listening to all these people. And I'm like, who's coming? Who's coming? And I'm like, I know I'm in heaven. I was like, oh, they're talking about Jesus. Jesus is coming. Jesus is going to come through them doors, yeah? And then it went really quiet, and then the doors open up. And because the doors are so fucking huge, they go past the sky. We go past the skylight, which is so big. This person looked minuscule. And this man is walking through the door. And there's a white light behind him. I'm assuming that he's coming from you know, that dome room. He's done the healing. They've healed his body of his cancer, of all his trauma and the life that he lived from when he was little as being Lewis. They've cleansed his, and now he's coming to say hello to everybody. Yeah. So I see this little man walking, and I'm going, is that Jesus? It's Jesus. And then as soon as he gets into the light, I'm like, that's Pa. I'm like, that's Pa. What the hell is Pa doing there? This is my dad. What the fuck? They're making like a grand... They're making like this grand entry for my father. And that is like the entry that I feel like we're all going to get when we go over. It's crazy. That's why when I went into the white light, I was like, oh my God, everyone that's like passed away is right there. And like angels and guides and loved ones, they're all there to greet me. It didn't feel like that with my dad. I feel like he got more of a grand reunion. But I think the only reason why mine was so simple, like walking into the white light, seeing my grandparents, my guides and my angels and Archangel Michael, was because I was not actually I was not at the finish line. It was because I still had shit to do. But I reckon when it's done, my life is over, my body no longer can function in the physical world, I reckon I'm going to get one of them ones there, man. I demand it. I demand the big door entrance, please. And it was my dad, yeah. It wasn't my time. That's why I didn't get the Colosseum with the grand doors. It wasn't my time. I still didn't want to go, though. But that was basically the story, Irene, because she wanted me to tell that story again. Is there any other questions? You asked me about losing a child. You asked me about suicide. I hope I answered all of your questions, and I hope you're satisfied with what I told you. Because I still got a couple of stuff to cover. I know my parents are happy where they are. I know they are. I wanted to talk to you about the flower of life pattern. Does anyone know what the flower of life pattern is? What is your take on reoccurring dreams? You need to write it down. Are you writing them down? Reoccurring dreams is messages. I don't care if you see an escalator. I don't care if you see a colour. I don't care if you see a number or it's an actual scenario going on. I'll show it to you again. But reoccurring dreams, information that you need to write down, because you might need this piece of information for your evolution later on. That's why I always say dream journal, write things down. It doesn't matter how big or small. It doesn't matter if you see a cat or a dog, or you see, I don't know, a piece of string, or you see a house or a home or a tree or a forest or a number or a pattern or a letter. Write it down. Reoccurring dreams only keep reoccurring because you need to receive some sort of information. What is the the reoccurring dream. If you don't want to talk about it, it's okay. Does that make any sense, Mo? Information. Recurring dreams is information. It can be a premonition. It could be many things. It could be a prediction. That's why write it down. So you know you're not going crazy when it happens. So, flower of life. Until I see your question, if you want to ask it. This is the flower of life pattern. So behind the person that is okay. So there's some part of you that needs to be released. That wild part of you, the lioness, that wild part of you, that part of you you've locked in for so long and suppressed, needs to clearly be released. We were tiny and being hunted. The lion killed my sister with the claws. There's something around releasing of something. If you're trapped, lion, you also, because this could also be like the metaphor, like you are somebody that needs to let go of something, suppressed feelings, emotions. Tiny being hunted by, and what are you afraid of? You're fearful of something? Because I had a dream where I was being chased by a wolf, and the only way to run away from this wolf is to jump into the quicksand. Lion dragged 4. So you need to write lion in your journal. You need to write 4 claws. 4 claws. You need to write that. And then, is this real though? Did you see the 4 claws? My God. Did you see the 4 claws on her back? Oh, it's the dream. The lion dragged 4 claws through her back. So, is this real connected to the dream? Can you just clarify that? Because you said I had some weird dreams. Number 4 claw marks through her body. It's what killed her. So is this, because you said something about a dream, is this real life or is this the dream? Or is this happening in real life and now you keep dreaming about it? You said it might be a recurring dream. The first one was me trapped in a lion's cage with my sister, gigantic lion cage. We were tiny and being hunted. The lion killed my sister with its claws. The lion dragged 4 claws through her. She died tragically 12 years later. 4 claw marks on her back. Yes, from the autopsy. Am I freezing for anyone else? Because I've got 4 bars here. I just need to know if this was reality as well as a dream. So Mo, is this reality mixed with a dream? Or is this just the dream? Look what's on in my background. Can you hear me, Mo? Is it good now? The dream was the lion cage. We were hunted and killed. My sister was 4 marks through her body. Is your sister around? Is she okay? A dream always also represents repressed emotions. So in the conscious world, here in the waking world, you have some sort of fear of something. And when you don't get rid of whatever fear this may be, it will turn into something in the unconscious world to dreams like that. Lion cage, sister killed. There's either a fear around your sister. Your sister might be feeling certain emotions that you're picking up on. She might be worried about something, and it's being projected onto you through the ethereal body, and that's how you and your sister is connected. And the lion and cage always represents suppressed emotions. So this is the part that I don't understand. So your sister is not here. Am I getting it right? I'm so sorry. Because you're talking about, okay, so the dream was the lion cage. That was the dream. We were hunted. My sister was killed with claw marks through her. Okay. She is deceased. Oh my God. Autopsy found wounds on her back. The marks from my dreams. Wow. So it wasn't a dream. Another time, another place, in another dimension. Those marks. What did I say to you about birthmarks? What did I say to you about scars that you were born with? What did I say to you about all of this stuff? All things happen in one timeline. There is no past, there is no present, there's no future. It's all in one timeline. So this dream that you said you have, where this lion clawed her back and then it showed up in the autopsy, I mean, how intertwined are we into that realm, into that world, into the unconscious world of your dreams? This is why I was saying to dream journal. Now imagine if you had this reoccurring dream and you wrote this down on a piece of paper. So I was a child. You have premonition. You have premonitions like I do. You can do premonitions. You can't tap into your gifts until you get rid of all that thing this is what I said. So caged in, hey Diana, trapped, unresolved trauma, emotions, now purging out of you. If you are meditating and you're trying to unlock your abilities and they know what you're trying to do, you're going to have to up these traumas. The cage, it will come out as in the dream in some sort of way. Repressed emotions or feelings about your deceased sister, marks showing up on her body, claw marks. This is all connected to each other. This is why I'm trying to say to you, there is different timelines, different dimensions. We're all intertwined into it. There's fractal parts of us in your dream where your sister was, in real life, the claw marks that showed up from the lion that scraped her back. Everything is all intertwined with each other. There's no such thing as time. Different dimensions, sure. We're on this timeline. We're in this physical world. We're in this realm, sure. But it doesn't mean that your sister does not exist in another realm where that's happened to her, where she's showing it to you in a dream. This is how connected you already are. So you are somebody that has premonitions like I do. Like from the big to the mundane, yeah? Premonitions. That's a big one. The mundane premonition I'd have is my brothers, my siblings coming over. My mum saying no, they're not, but they end up coming over. How did you know that? He told me he wasn't coming. How did you know he was going to come? That was weird. Like, just sit from the big premonitions to the mundane. This is why do you think I say to everybody, dream journal? Dream journal, diary, put things that you see in your mind on paper. It'll make sense later on. That's deep. That's beautiful. I know it sounds crazy. I know you must be thinking it sounds crazy, but for me, you're just solidifying everything, that we're all connected, that we're all fragmented into different timelines. That even how that is so amazing. And it doesn't, traumatic as it may be that she might have been killed by a lion in a cage, her soul is set free. She's free. She's clearly able to connect. So amazing. You're just solidifying what I already feel anyway. That's all you're doing for me. You're solidifying it. That's an amazing thing that happened, that you're able to connect to her that way. It's so good. It's good. Program it. Program. Yeah, put salt in your feet before you go to bath. So when you have a bath or you have a shower, before you turn on the shower, get your salt. Put it on there and stand on it. And then turn on the shower. It will neutralize the energy that you have in your body. Walk barefoot on the grass or on the ground. Touch a tree. It's so important for us to be in nature right now. Right, flower of life. So, been going to the beach. You put your feet right in the water, inside the sand. So this is the flower of life pattern behind the person meditating. Okay? It's the flower of life. The flower of life is infinite possibilities, infinite timelines, and it's forever. It doesn't end. This pattern will continue to get bigger and bigger. That's why I wear it around my neck, but the thing snapped, so I'm waiting for it to come in through the post. I wear the flower of life pattern around my neck. The flower of life pattern, if you have it and you stare at it, it's a key. It's a key. It's a key code. That's why I wear it around my throat. The flower of life pattern is a key code. It's infinitely continuous. It goes into one. It's a tapestry. It's all connected as one. It keeps on going, and it just goes and it gets bigger, and it goes out of it. It just gets bigger. It gets bigger. It gets bigger. So the flower of life pattern, what I've learned is that it is a key, and it will help you to find like a passage to the answers that the answers to your questions. So if you meditate with the flower of life pattern, whether it's meditating on it, looking at it for a few minutes every day, it will start to move for you individually, because we are all connected to each other, yes, but we all have different strands of DNA in our bodies. We all have different parts of us that's not similar. I'm not similar to you, you're not similar to me, but we are as of one. But there are different elements to our DNA, right? Although our DNA comes from that one timeline, what this represents is that we come from that one source, but there are parts of us that are different from everybody else, right? So when you get that, when you stare or meditate on a flower of life pattern, what will happen is you'll get the answers to the questions that you have. Especially meditating on it long enough, it helps the brain to grow and enhance communication with your beings on the other side, with your angels, with your guides. It's a key that makes a specific imprint. So when you look at it, because you're different from me, it will unlock for you differently for how it will unlock for me. Does that make sense? there's a dormant DNA within you. This dormant DNA has a superpower that you have not activated yet because of the mundane world that you live in, because of distractions that is going on in your life. So when you take a moment to listen to peaceful music, like I showed you on my TV, to look at the flower of life pattern, and you can get it in a triangle, and then it is made by like steel, or let me show you, on a crystal grid. Right here, let me show it to you. The flower of life on a triangle crystal grid. Yeah? When you stare at that long enough, it will lock a DNA code in you differently from how it is in me. And you can get this from any crystal shop. So go to your closest crystal shop. If you're able, order it online if you can, and stare at it. It will unlock a DNA code within you, which is going, look, they even have it like this, but this is not it, but this is also an important symbol. And all the chakras, can you see all the chakra colors? Hey, Purple D, see all the chakra colors? If you look at that one, look, the flower of life with all the chakra colors. So they say that when you stare at the flower of life pattern long enough, everyone is different. Even though we're the same, it will unlock a DNA code within you, and it will start to activate, if you stare at it long enough, your superpowers, things that you have forgotten. It will give you the answers that you're looking for. And you'll have enhanced communication, because it helps the brain grow and enhance the communication with your loved ones on the other side. Because this key, it has a specific imprint in your brain and in your DNA, and it unlocks the brain, and it will bring in ideas. And it can give you like thoughts, if you relax enough, and then if you're able to stare at it, it's a code, it's coded into you, and it will wake up that code within you. How cool is that? I've got stickers with the flower of life symbol, and I put it behind like my water jug. I'll put it on a flower. So like the flower of life, I'll put it on the flower, on my my pendulum had one, but I lost it. Get another one. Get a crystal grid. A crystal grid is good. I've got a small crystal amethyst here, and I like to use it to channel the energy. Isn't it? Sacred geometry. It's flower of life is sacred geometry. Those patterns are all sacred. I love sacred geometry. I love tree of the flower of life pattern. I love it. I love all of this stuff. I have it in my house for a reason. You can create grids using crystals. All the colors of the chakra, you can create grids in your house. You can put grids to bring in more love. So in the living room, you want like abundance, peace and harmony. You could do a circle grid. You remember what I did in my bedroom wall? There's like crystals made in a round circle, and you could use in the living room yellow or green crystals and create a beautiful grid and stick it on your wall. Like use a glue gun and stick circle crystals in your wall to activate the energy of flow of money. And then you can use like if you wanted to activate your solar plexus and you wanted your solar plexus, your gut, your intuition to be heightened, you could do a round crystal grid using only yellow crystals. And then you can put that in your bedroom, just like stick it on your wall above your head. That will activate the energy of your solar plexus. It's amazing the things that you can do with crystals and making a crystal grid. Yellow and green, even painting your room a certain color is great. I have the tree of life and pattern everywhere. The tree of life as my drum stuck on my wall, on that wall just there in that corner there. I have the tree of life here because it's about me reminding myself to ground and root myself to Mother Earth. The colors that you wear is important. The color in which your home is really important. So my room is pink. Like this room is magnolia and pink. Because when I put up that wallpaper, I wanted it rose pink because it's for the heart chakra. It's the heart. It's the color of the heart. Green and rose, green and pink is the color of the heart chakra. But I love sacred geometry. I love purple. It's my favorite color. Purple is crown chakra, connected to the, as above. Purple and pink is my favorite color. Hence my room all pink. My curtains were purple because purple is connected to the chakra. Most of my house is purple. I feel like anyone who's drawn to the color purple is connected to that. You can be connected psychically to the higher realm. There's something about purple and witch energy as well. You've got white witch energy attached to you as well if you've got purple. So stare at the flower of life if you can. Okay, get the crystal grid. I still need to get me one. I've got a whole bunch of crystals in here, but I haven't yet got myself the flower of life crystal grid, which is now something I need to invest in. So I highly recommend getting one of those because it's a key code. I can't resist it. Yeah, I adore purple colors. I can't resist all chakra colors I have to wear. All chakra colors. So because we're already on like the sacred geometry and the activation, and my bottom is purple as well. I love that. So because I'm talking about DNA and activation codes, is there a country which you are drawn to? Egypt, Santorini, Italy for me. Egypt is a big one. Those are the countries that I'm drawn to. And I'll tell you why. Italy, Greece. Seems to be the ones that I'm drawn to. I've been to Egypt 15 times. Ireland. I have to go to Egypt. Now let me talk to you about this. It's my heritage. New Zealand. Oh, my sister said it was beautiful over there, but I think she said it was really expensive. Egypt and Greece. Yes. Right. Do you know that all of these sacred spaces, like Stonehenge, the Loch, where is it? Where was the Loch Ness? Greek with those domes, in Greece with the domes, Egypt with the pyramids, Stonehenge. Did you know, Scotland, did you know if you have a connection to these countries, that you had a lifetime there? Did you know that your soul is calling you to go to those places and touch the land to activate the DNA codes in you? Did you know that all of those places that you're talking about are alive with energy? Did you going to Stonehenge while they're in August? If you're able to touch, they say when you go to Egypt, you're not allowed to touch like any of these places, but everyone does. Like everybody touch all the things they're not allowed to touch. And it's like, say for example, the pyramid is alive. When you come off the aeroplane and you land in Egypt, the pyramid is already like disturbed. Like somebody's here that needs to come here. Maybe you have fragments of Cleopatra's energy in you, and then it's like the pyramid will all of a sudden start to like wake up. And then you're like, I'm going to go and visit the pyramids today. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to we're going to go inside the pyramid. Once the pyramid knows your energy frequency and you're there, the pyramid wakes up. And once you touch the walls, your DNA is going to be awoken. Your DNA energy, the DNA codes within you, when you in that lifetime that you live, you do realize that you're going to activate those DNA codes. So when you go to Egypt and you touch the ground, or you touch the temples, or you touch the stone, or you touch the whatever it is that you're going to touch, you do realize that you are, because it's alive. Stonehenge is alive with energy. Scotland's energy, the grids are alive with energy, and it's waiting for you to give back. It's like the more people that visit these places that are drawn to Egypt or Greece or Stonehenge or all of those sacred places, you're giving them life and they're activating your DNA. It's amazing. And you need to activate your DNA codes because you're dormant, you're sleeping. We're all able to pierce the veil. We're supposed to be able to see the other side, to see our loved ones. This was a part of our birthright, our heritage. This is a part of our DNA strands. This is part of our life, our soul blueprint. But we had to forget to go back to it. We had to go through the experiences to go back to it. So whatever country that you are drawn to, it is going to awaken the DNA codes within you, and it's going to remind you. Hey JT, it's going to remind you. It's going to remind you about all of your reincarnation, all the lives that you've ever been in, and all the lessons that you've had to learn, which is making you the glorious being that you are today. Because you already had so many past lives, and you've forgotten all the lives that you have lived. Have you not? I'm a woman. I'm very good with tools. I must have been a handyman back in the day, in another lifetime. Maybe in Jesus' time, I was a builder and I built houses, or I was able to build boats, because I'm quite a handyman. I don't need a man to fix my light bulb or to create a desk or a drawer or whatever. I don't need that. I can do it myself. I did these bloody shelves myself. I know it's simple, but I'm quite the handy man / woman. So all I'm saying to you, it awakens like a DNA code within you wherever you go. You give a piece of that land back to them, that energy back to it, but it also gives you something in return. So when you plan on your next holiday, feel where you want to go. Don't just go, oh, I'm going to go there because it's cheap. I'm going to go there because it looks really good. I'm going to go there because it's only 2 hours away. No, you have to go where you feel drawn to. And I have not yet been to Egypt. And I have a feeling that when I go there and I touch the energy of the pyramids, hi Gabriella, I know that there are going to be my DNA strands that are going to be even more blow wide open. I know it. Woodworking, because you're not just Diana. You have probably been a builder in a past life. Some people are really good. Do you know that I can play the piano? I ain't good at it, but did you know that I can play the piano? How the fuck did I know to play the piano? I must have been a pianist in a past life. I bet you knew that. I could play the piano. Not good, but I don't know how I did it. It's so funny because when I was a little girl, my friend would be playing on the piano and she would literally go piano lessons. I would never touch the keys. I've never touched the keys. I'll just press it like this, whatever. But all I have to do is look at my friend's hands. I look at her hands. She's pressing the key, and it's like it's already encoded in my energy. So then I'll be like, and I'll do the same thing as her. And she's like, "Did you know how to play the piano?" And I'll be like, "No, I just watched what you did, and I remembered what you did, and I'm just doing it myself." That's how I used to be when I was a kid. It's weird. And my mum and dad, my dad was a DJ as well. So my dad was a DJ as well. And you know, my father, he will play a song 3 times, and I would already know all the words after listening to it 3 times really quickly. Nowadays, I'm a bit slow to learn the words, lyrics to a song. But back in the day, my dad would be like, "How is it that you know the words to this song and you've only heard it 3 times?" Imprint. We all have it. We have it. What I have, you have, but you also have something that I don't have. There's always something, there's always a gift that I have that you won't have. A gift that you have that I won't have, because it belongs to us. It's our specific gifts that we were born to have, to share with the world. It doesn't matter what it is. Talking to flowers and then making them grow. A great gardener, a healer, a psychic, a medium, a Reiki practitioner. Don't care. We have it all in us. It just needs to be activated. So go to those sacred spaces to unlock the DNA codes within you that is dormant. The healer, unlock the healer within you. So do that. So the next time you plan on a holiday, don't just go on a holiday because that looks like a great place to go. Go on a holiday because you're feeling pulled to go to this country. I'm telling you guys, it will activate something in you that you need. It will unlock a talent that was dormant within you that you didn't even know you had. I didn't know I could build. I didn't know I could play the piano until I did. It's so strange. I'm very good at catching on to things really quickly. Doesn't matter what it is. Show me it once, I already know how to do it. It's crazy. So, I wanted to go back to the other hot flushes. I wanted to talk about when I was talking to you earlier about how powerful women are and how they used to use their menstrual blood to put it on their third eye to activate energy and to activate and to see. They used to manifest as well with physical, like with the period blood. I know it sounds grim, but they used to manifest with it because the blood that comes out of your body is a sacred blood. It's sacred. I never looked at it that way before until I started doing my studies and started to understand that back in the day, our ancestors used to use that blood to activate certain energies. It's crazy, but it's true. It's very sacred. So when we have I read where you can, yes, you feed the plants with it. I know, it's crazy. Yes, they use menstrual blood in ritual. Yes, it's sacred blood. And yes, they put blood in the plants. Yes, it makes it thrive and grow. It's sacred blood. It's sacred. So what I learned with yes, they did rituals with it. Yes. So hot flushes often represents physical repressed anger. So when people get hot flushes, it's suppressed anger that has not yet been dealt with. It could have been something from the past. Oh, I have loads of plants. Ew. Squeeze a bit of blood in there. Maybe stand over your plant and just drip on it a couple of blood, just a few drips of blood. Just make sure no one catches you doing that, because they're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? So it's very good. Blood is sacred. We are fucking amazing, us girls. We are amazing. We're amazing when we have our menstrual, but you're even more amazing. That's why do you think I keep on calling menopause to me? Why do you think I keep saying menopause? Hurry the fuck up. I'll pop it in a menstrual cup. I so see you doing that, Gemma. I put sugar in my water when I water my plants and they thrive. My mum always said sugar water. Don't just give them plain water, it's boring. I'm like, okay. They're alive too, you know. They can talk to you too. So they love sugar water. That's why they thrive. So when you have and banana, put a banana peel, soak it in water for one night, and use that water that it was soaked in and feed it to your plants. They love that too. So hot flushes are physical expressions of repressed anger. And these energies that are stored up in the body needs to be released. So if you're like, it's anger that has been left unexpressed and it manifests into heat. That makes sense though, doesn't it? Heat, hot flushes. It makes sense though, right? So it's heat that has been unsuppressed, manifests in heat, and then it creates irritation in the body. So you have to alleviate this problem by acknowledging the anger and releasing the anger. Let it go. Yes, better. Banana water is better than the red thing. Yeah, probably. What else is... So, menopause, I know I spoke about this last week, but menopause is shedding the old identity. Because the old identity, the womb, which is a place for nurturing and creating and giving birth to children, we are now getting rid and shedding the old identity. So when you become menopausal and you're no longer on your period, that's when I said to you that you're going into your divine goddess energy. That's why in ancient times, our ancestors always looked to the elders, isn't it? The elders of the village, because they now, when you are no longer in when the womb is no longer able to birth and nourish life or give life, it is now shedding the old identity. The womb is the place where for nurturing life now can be used for whatever you desire for yourself, because you've taken the children, you've taken care of them, you nourish them and prepared them for the physical world. Now that you're on menopause and now that you're not having any more menstrual cycle, this is the time, this is the sacred time for you to give birth to the things that you desire. Because like I said to you last time, it is like unbirthed ideas, like the book that I should have written, the holiday that I should have had, having more joy into my life, unbirthed creative energy. So menopause is going to cause you to begin like doing things that you want to do for yourself. Do not mourn your menopause. You're going through a next stage, an evolution of your life. You're becoming divine feminine. You're not divine. I'm not saying that you're not divine feminine when you're on your menstrual cycle, but you're specifically meant to birth ideas or children. But when you don't have that energy attached to you anymore, it's giving birth to other things that you want to give. It's all about you. Why do you think I'm always saying, hurry up menopause? I don't want to be on my period anymore. I'm done with it. I ain't thinking of having any more children at 45. I'm ready to live and do some stuff. I'm ready to not nurture anymore, anything else. I want to take care of me. I want to do something that I want to do. I want to give birth to what I want to give birth to. That's what I want. And this is why you don't mourn menopause. Because this is a new you. Giving dreams to the things that giving birth to the things that you desire. Because the belly is a sacred space where life is created. So now you can create in that sacred space, give birth to the things that you desire. It's just, and then you lose weight as well. because now you're giving birth to the things that you want to give birth to. You're actually losing your stomach. So anytime you got the belly weight, it's often a sign that a woman's creativity needs to be released. That's what that represents. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Doesn't it make sense? The womb is where we carry our child, where we nurture. Now we are done with that. It's about us now. Not yet for me. You lot are lucky if you're no longer on your period. Just saying. You lot are divine feminine, yeah? Guide us into the light. Divine feminine. Nothing can disrupt your energy once you're off your menstrual cycle. Once you're off your menstrual cycle, you just are. You are, they will call you the old crone. She knows too much. Total sense. So for those girls, for those of you who are not on your girlies anymore, you are in your divine goddess energy. So don't hold back. It's not the time to hold back. It's time to move past all of this. It's time to get bigger. It's time to make your plans. It's time to activate your ideas, the things that you want to do. Nothing should hold you back. Your kids are grown. They're already gone. You have to start taking care of you. This is an activation time. This is why I'm saying that during this time frame, everybody is going to be activated. Everybody's going to be waking up during this time frame. Everyone. Does anyone have any questions that they want answered? And I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. I'm telling you, I'm on Prime right now, and I'll tell you what I'm watching. Shall I show it to you so you guys can, if you want to watch it as well? I just found something. I always like to go to Gaia on Prime, because Gaia is a place where they can give you the information that you need, but you can't find it anywhere else because it's censored. Where's my remote? Here. I was just talking about doing grid workers. Yeah, grid workers, yes. But I was also talking about like how to do grid work. It's amazing the things that you can find out. I'm going to show you what I'm watching. Right, so if you have Prime, which I think most of you might have, if you have Prime, I'll go to Gaia. I'm going to show it to you. So this is who I found recently. I always like to watch people's life story. I always like to watch interviews that are being done by mediums. I like to watch people that are talking about tarot. I like watching people that talk about the Akashic records. I like it when people talk about like the Nephilims, the Bible, pieces of the Bible missing. I'm like an investigator and I always want to know about everything. So I always go on Gaia and watch what's new. Now, this person has been out since 2016. I don't know if anyone's ever heard the program Beyond Belief on Gaia. So it's called Beyond Belief on Gaia. And this guy is called Gregory, I think his name is. Gregory Nori or something like that. And basically he interviews every person from all walks of life. He interviews everybody. So with this guy here, I'm like, he would talk about Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon is the one who does past life regression. I found, look, it says timeless traveling and past life portals. I mean, I'm going to watch that. They talk about shamans, shaman healing. He interviews like all people, all healers of all walks of life, reincarnation. He talks about astral travel and astral projection, talks about mediumship, near-death experiences. And this is being interviewed by all of these people, like all of these people that are well known. So I found him because I was reading, so I bought a new book. So I was showing you guys that I'm currently reading. Right, so the book that I told you that I'm currently reading is, I'm a slow reader. So the book that I'm currently reading is, I'm in between 3 books right now. So I've got Avalon, and this is from Sarah Brexman Cosme, yeah? I've also got, I Don't Believe in Astrology. I'm still like at the end sections of that book. I ordered this book the other day. It came in as a gift, and I was like, homecoming meditations, exercises to calm your mind and find your inner sanctuary by Jessica Boston. And I'm also, look what I've just received. I'm so excited, but I still got so many books that I've got to read. A Hypnotist Journey to Atlantis. And again, it's by Sarah Brexman Cosme. And I just received this book. So this is what happened with her book. It says revised. Why? Because it was censored. Her book was censored for a while. And the reason why her book was censored was because they don't want you to know the information that she was giving. I wish I could have bought the original, but they had to censor it, and she had to redo it in order for it to come back out. That's why it's been revised. So I was a little bit upset that I didn't get the original version. Now, according to Sarah, she said you can get the original version on Kindle, but it gives you so much information, like about healing, how to do the healing work, how to get rid of negativity, how to manifest. I mean, the stuff that she lets us know about. The universe, the powers that be, they don't want you to unlock your capabilities. They don't want you to know that you can heal yourself. They don't want you to know that, because the medical, like the people who build all of these drugs that actually makes you even more ill, they don't want you to know that you have the Sarah Brexman Cosme. So let me show you her book, and I will flip let me see. All right, give me 1 second. So these are her books that I got. Oh my God, I love them, guys. I love them. And I would never, like, for me, education, right? You know I love to read books. You know I like to gather information. Let me just put you on here. Give me 1 second. Because I'm trying to, let me just put you here for a second. Right. I'm going to show you her books that I have. She's got 5 books. So I still need to get another one. Where is she? So this one and this one. So these are her books. There's 5. Right. Let me flip this. So I got that one first. So take a screenshot of it. Sarah Brexman Cosme. From the Trial to the Star People. This is Shamans. I had to read that first because my guides are shamans. And then I got The Hypnotist Journey to Avalon. This is like, can you see the stone? This story, oh my God. And remember, she's putting under people under hypnosis, and they're basically telling her. So let me talk about this one quickly. So from the Trial to the Star People, when she was talking about this specific book, when she was talking about From the Trial to the Star People, it was a story about a man called Anawaya. Is it Anawaya? I hope I'm saying it properly. Sorry, Anawaya. So there's a story about this man called Anawaya, and he walked the Trail of Tears. The trail of Tears, right? The Trail of Tears was when the white man took the land from the shamans and basically kidnapped and killed their family, their children, and the shamans, they were like, it wasn't the white man's fault. And then Sarah said to the person that was under hypnosis, and by the way, the woman that was under hypnosis, it was a woman, and she was Annawaya in another life. So her deepest conscious part of her went all the way back to the Trail of Tears, and they said, the shaman said, Annawaya said through this woman, that when I was Annawaya, it wasn't the white man's fault. Well, who was it? The negative energy pierced the veil of humanity, and it was the white man that the negativity hit first. So the white man wanted power, wanted lands, wanted to kill people for lands. So it wasn't their fault. So they were very forgiving, these shaman people. Like the white man would have been beating on them on the Trail of Tears, but they were saying it's not their fault. It's not their fault they killed my child or their mom. It's the negativity that's within them that corrupted their energy. This is why we always have to raise our vibration. So this book was so sad, and I cried when I was reading this book. Don't forget, I'm shaman energy. I'm a part of that shaman lineage. So my ancestors are shaman. So when I read this book, I was right there with Annawaya. Now, when this woman was doing this regression under this woman, she had to see if any of this is true, right? So what does she go and do? She goes and research it. Bam, there's Annawaya. He is real. A picture of Annawaya said that we would found match up with the face that Les drew. The two portraits of the Cherokee Indians were commissioned by John Hunter and were painted by William H. R.A. in England. And when was this? Does it say? Can't remember what it says. Look at that. That is Annawaya. And he came through the woman that she put under regression. I mean, what the fuck? Like, amazing. So good. And how when they were on the Trail of Tears, evil spirits would make the white man crazy. But the native Indians, they could see the evil spirits. The evil spirits knew that they couldn't touch the shaman, because the shaman were so highly evolved in terms of looking at things that the white man couldn't see, that they knew how to send them away. So the evil entities will never bother the native Indians. It would always be the white man. Always. Corruption. Oh my God. I mean, I am not a fast reader, and I'm quite dyslexic when it comes to reading. I'm not very good. The words merge into each other. But I read when did I buy this book? I showed it to you. I'm like nearly halfway. I can't put it down. I always have to read it before I go to bed so I can dream and go into that energy. Oh my God. And God, I've got to show you this. There's a woman. What is her name? I don't even want to spoil it, but it's so good. She interviews this woman called Christy. I think it's Christy. And Christy reincarnated. It's so mind-blowing. She was a fairy. So I don't even know how to explain this story. It's so good. Okay, so when she's put under regression, Christy, she's put under regression. And the first thing that Christy said that she sees is, I'm a kid, I think I'm 12, and I'm in a castle, and I don't know why I'm in this castle, but there is this maid who's in my room, and now she's forcing me to get changed. And I'm looking at the outfit that I am wearing, and this outfit that I'm wearing is filled with like crystals and diamonds and encrusted in gold. So I must be of some sort of high class ranking. Maybe I'm a princess, or I'm attached to something royal. This is what she said. And then Sarah, the hypnotist, goes, keep going, tell me what you see. So she's going, okay, so now they've squeezed me into this dress, and I'm in this castle, and this castle is dimly lit by these the fire, you know, those sticks with the fire at the end of it, those torches. And then she said, and we're going down this we're going down these stairs, and as she's saying this, I'm in it, I'm with her. So we're going down these stairs, and I realize that there's a party, because I can hear music in the background, I can hear a gathering of people. And then she goes, then the women who are taking care of me, the maids, they open up the double doors, and I'm in this grand hall, and I'm looking at my father and my mother, who I recognize as my father and my mother, and I am seeing that I am a princess, but I'm also seeing a young man. So I'm about 12 years old, and I realize now that this is a gathering because I'm getting married. She's 12. So she goes, I'm now being introduced to my husband. He is a nice looking guy. She says he's a nice looking guy. He's got a beard. He's got a beard, and we are going to get married in a few days, but this is our reception. This is the party to celebrate our wedding. But he looks disappointed. I am 12, he is 18. And he's from a royal family, and I'm from a royal family. This is what she was saying. So she goes, I know I'm to be married to this man. I could see in his face he's a little bit disappointed, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. So anyway, we get married. He forces himself upon me. He doesn't like me. He's very disappointed in me. He has many affairs, and she's married at like 14 or something. They get engaged when she was 12, and then they end up marrying her off when she was like 14 years old back in the day. This was in 1281. So, or later, 1281. Yeah, around this time, that timeline. She was only 12. Listen to this. So Christy, who's now this girl is Alice in a past life. So Christy's gone back to a past life in the 12th century, and she is a princess, right? I'll tell you who the princess is in real life in a minute, because it's fucking real. So she's like giving all of this information that nobody should know about, that wouldn't be in the history books, but it's being said. So she's going, I'm married off, my partner doesn't like me, and I'm not allowed to leave the castle because everybody's following me everywhere I go. His parents don't like me. They're trying to figure out why I'm not pregnant yet. And he just forces himself upon me, but he's got other women in his life. And I'm starting to be jealous that I'm not able to satisfy my husband. So now she's falling in love with this man who's not really that into her, but was forced to marry her when she was young. So she said there was one time, hey Rashawn, so there's one time where she said there was, I got so fed up of the palace life, and I'm so interested in the woods because my mother before me was a high priestess. My father did not know this. It was like she was like magic. She was a magic woman connected to the Fae, a high priestess Fae, angelic realm. So her mother insisted that when Alice was born, she said to her husband, the king, I want to be born in nature. And her husband thought she was crazy. You're not going to be born in nature, this is crazy. So, oh, was the concert any good? I'm sure it was. Everybody's recording it. Love them both. Yep, I saw it. They're posting a lot. They're posting it up, and it looks really good. Chris Brown is talented. That's one of his talents when he came here to the physical world. The man's in his 30s and he's still writing great music that I still download and listen to. Don't get me wrong, I think he's a bit of a dick, but because I think he's like proper narcissistic and egotistical, but still love his music. So anyway, Chris is Alice in a past life. So Chris says as Alice in her past life. So we're going to just say Alice. This is the past life Christy. She goes, my maids are not looking at me, so I do a runner. So she goes, I run and I want to be in the forest because my mum wanted to give birth to me in the forest because the trees and the fairies would have taken care of her when she was giving birth to me. But my father didn't allow it because my father thought that my mum was crazy. So she runs out, Alice runs out of the palace, and she zings for the trees and the forest. So she goes, I'm running into the forest and I feel at home in the forest. I'm barefoot, I'm running through the forest, I'm running through the grounds of the forest. My feet is touching the mud, it's touching the grass, and I feel absolutely connected because I was trapped in that castle and my husband was just screwing me, and I just basically was not feeling it, and he's now sleeping with other women and he's got somebody else pregnant, and I'm really angry about it, and that's not a legitimate child. It has to be through me, and his parents hate me. But the forest was my escape. Taking off my shoes and touching the grass was my escape. And then she goes, I came to a stone, like a sacred stone area. And she goes, there were stones all around me. That's what she said. And then she goes, and the energy pulsating from this place. She goes, it didn't make any sense to me, but it felt like I had to stand in the middle of this stone thing. What is it? This stone, what did she say it was? Like this stone thing. Okay, it was a circle, it was stones all surrounding her, and she felt like she needed to go into the middle of this. What is it called? What is the word I'm looking for? It's a fuck a duck. It's a thing. This thing. It's in the book, but I forgot what it's called. So she goes, so it's not Stonehenge. It's not the grotto. It's a stone formation. She felt like she had to stand in this stone formation, and she felt like it was sacred ground. So what does she do? She goes into the, look, you can see her in this stone formation, sacred ground. And she goes, as I'm standing there, I lie down and I start to feel really sleepy. She goes, I feel really sleepy. And I start to see white orbs of light. There's a fairy there, white orbs of light. And remember, her mother is connected to the fairy realm. And she goes, as I'm laying in this stone place, I'm feeling really sleepy. It's a portal. She goes, all of a sudden, I open my eyes again and I'm somewhere completely different. I still see the stones, but I am now in a different timeline. And she goes, I open up my eyes and I see an arrow in my face. This is Alice. This is Alice, the princess. So I'm Christy. I'm under hypnosis. I'm talking to you about my past life as Alice. But as I'm Alice, I'm now in a stone grid. And it's a portal, and now I'm someone else. So now she's no longer Alice, the princess of this tower. She's now in a portal. She opens up her eyes and it beams her into something completely different. So as I'm opening eyes, I see a giant, a fucking giant. She goes, I see this giant with a bow and arrow in my face. And I'm looking at this giant, and I'm looking at everyone around this giant. I am no longer by the palace. I am transported into another dimension. And she says that as I'm looking around, there are beings that have a body like a human, but some of them have like lion heads. You know, like in The Hobbit, or, you know, like those kind of people there. And it's all real. And it's so crazy because it's all been validated at the end of the book. It's fucking mental. It's crazy. So she's like, she's going. So I'm looking at these people, and some people have heads like lions. Some of them have heads like a crow. Some of them have like weird body shapes. But I'm looking at this giant, and he's huge. And I'm looking at him, and he's the biggest thing in this place. He's huge. And it's coming across to me like he's the guardian of this land. So he's looking at this, and then she goes, so Sarah, the hypnotist, goes, look down at your body. And she was like, I'm really small. I'm small. And she was like, it's like I'm a fairy. I feel like I'm 3 feet tall. Like I'm 3 feet tall. And I've got wings. She's like, I've got wings. This is what Alice is saying this is what Christy, who is Alice, who is now a fairy in another dimension, in another life. I mean, Christy, me, is going back in time to 2 lifetimes. How amazing is that? How many lifetimes do you think you've had? Just one? No, many. So she's saying this giant is holding an arrow in my face and is speaking to me in a language unknown to me. Don't know what he's saying. But she's starting to understand like what he's saying. So the longer that she's there, she's starting to understand the lingo. She's also starting to understand that she is from this place. Hold on a second. Is the fan too loud, guys? Remove background noise. Allow them to hear you clearly. All right, I pressed that setting to remove the sound in the background. Can you hear me better? Okay, that's even better. Okay, good. So imagine, as soon as I'm reading that, I'm zoomed in, man. I'm like, what the fuck? So she's already hypnotized. She's already Alice, and now she's a friggin' fairy. What the fuck is this? What's going on here? So she's like, I wish I remember her name. I should have written it down. So anyway, she's like, I'm looking at the end of a spear, and this giant is going, and she doesn't understand what he's saying. But the longer that she's in this dimension, she's starting to understand what he's saying. And he's basically, who are you and what are you doing here? And then she's like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm here. This isn't where I was. And why do I have wings in my back? And why are you so huge? Like, what's going on? And then she starts to say that as I'm observing all of these creatures with humanoid bodies, I'm looking at the giant and he's kind of hot. You know, like I did the guy with the ticket. She's like, as I'm observing this space and this giant is going, who are you and what are you doing in my realm? It's like, she's like, well, I don't know why I'm here. And then what happened was, what the understanding was, what all of these humanoid people that were standing around this grid of stones, they were there because they were praying for help. Because there's a war that's going to start out in this realm. And they were praying for an answer. And she showed up. Weirdest thing. But she goes, as this giant is holding up the bow and arrow to my face, I'm starting to realize that there's something about him. Like, we're connected to each other. I've known him somewhere in a past life. And he lowers down his bow and arrow because he starts to realize that I'm not a threat. And she said it was a knowing. It was like there was something between me and the giant, and I didn't know what it was. Anyway, you got to get the book. It's real. It's a real thing. So, looking for Alice. This is who Chrissy was in a past life. Alice. Alice de Lacy, Countess of Lincoln. Alice was born on Christmas Day in 2081 in Dunbar Castle, England, the only daughter of Henry de Lacy, Earl of Lincoln. Can you believe that? So this Chrissy reincarnated from a woman called Alice. She was Alice in a past life. she was a princess in a past life to be married off to an 18-year-old. They treated her like shit and badly. When she was a kid, she ran into the woods, goes into this portal, is now in another dimension, the fairy realm. In 1929, Alice, when Alice was just 13 years old, she thought she was 13 years old, married King Edward I's nephew, Thomas Lancaster. What the fuck? At such a young age, Alice was bound to a future that she did not choose, and her marriage to Thomas was not a love story. Alice lived most in her life in Pickering Castle in Yorkshire. Alice de Lacy, can you imagine that? She reincarnated to Christie, and she was in one of her past lives, Alice de Lacy. Alice de Lacy. Now, the funny part of her story, where it all intertwined with each other, was when Alice disappeared into that dimension, in the physical world, her being a princess, she was missing for a few days. They couldn't find her. They thought she was abducted. So imagine, they searched the forest, they can't find any trace of her. Why? Because she was in the fairy realm. When she stepped into that stone, when she stepped into that sacred stone place, they could not find her. She went missing. They thought she was kidnapped. But that will explain that segment of the story as Alice, because it said Alice was abducted and was missing for like several days or something. But she wasn't abducted. She was in the fairy realm. How cool is that? How cool is that? So Alice, because her husband was, because of the life that she lived, Alice, she knew that when you were born as a girl, you'll be shipped off to marry any old hootie howdy, any person. And your life is taken away from you. You have to dress a certain way. You're not allowed to really educate or study. You're there to get impregnated. You're supposed to have a child. And you are basically there just to get pregnant. This is back in the day. This is how the men would treat the women back in those days, that you're just there to be seen, not to be heard. She got pregnant by her husband, Thomas. But she said, I did not want my daughter to live a life of like this kind of, it wasn't solitude, but like imprisonment. She goes, I didn't want my daughter to live a life of imprisonment like I had to. So what happened to me was I searched for an old crone because I wanted to tell my husband that our daughter had died. So she got the old crone, like a witch, a high priestess, to give her the body of a female born, to tell the husband, this is our daughter, and she died. But realistically, her daughter was actually saved, and her daughter went on to marrying a king. And I think she was, what was her daughter's name? I forget. Get the book. Get the book. Oh, get the book. It's so good. Get the book. So she goes, so what happened in the angelic realm? So her being the fairy, I can't remember what her name was as a fairy. What was her name? She was a part of the light elves. She was a part of the fairy realm. Her mum was a part of the fairy realm. She was a part of the druids as well in the ancient times. This is where her energy was at. This is where her energy is. And I don't know, it was such a beautiful story. Dragonflies, fairies, all of this stuff. So anyway, this is what happened between her and the giant. She couldn't have kids. She got rid of her child with here in the physical world when she was married to the king. Her daughter ended up becoming married to a king anyway, who treated her well, and she ended up being a queen that we would know if we look back into history, but I can't remember. So if you get the book, you'll see who she was, who her daughter was here in the physical world. But in the angel realm, she ended up having 2 children from the giant. They were soulmates. They have known each other in many lifetimes. And what happened was when she was in the fairy realm, the longer she spent in the fairy realm, she started to get bigger. It was like her body started to change. She wasn't the fairy with the wings or something like that. She wasn't attached. She wasn't the fairy with the wings. The more that she came intertwined with her giant, her physical form started to change. That's why they were able to make love and they were able to have twins. So she said what happened was they found the war or the trouble that was coming when they were praying for an answer for the prayers, and I turned up in that stone thing. She said basically what happened was I was supposed to have 2 children that changed the world. When the war came about, when me and my giant had 2 twins, the war, when I was giving birth to the children, they were basically saying that if we don't take the children out now, they're all going to die. They had to slice open the fairy, Alice as a fairy, slice open her stomach like a C-section. They didn't have it in 12, 18 something C-section. That I know they did it, but you're prone to dying because of the C-section. What happened to her was when they sliced her stomach open and her babies came out, the boy baby died with her. So her big giant, her husband, her love of her life that she's known through many lifetimes and many dimensions, was so devastated. The last things that she said to her giant was, take care of our daughter. She will change the frequency of this dimension. So she lost her son. She died with her son, but the other twin stayed with the giant. It's such a beautiful story. I'm still yet to find out. I'm in the middle of it. But I highly recommend this. And Avalon and Atlantis are somehow connected to each other. Avalon and Atlantis are connected to each other. And this is all Sarah putting people like you and me under hypnosis to heal ailments. So when Sarah puts some of her clients and they go in with cancer disappears. When Sarah, it doesn't have to be Sarah to get a regression. It could be anybody, good ones. People who had who was going to go blind. They do a session with Sarah. They end up getting their sight back. It's really crazy because you are purging out while you're doing the session of regression. You're purging out things that you're holding on to from past trauma. When you talk about it, it's a way of releasing it. So when you release it, they also take the ailment away from you, like cancer, problems with the eyes. They take away the ailment from you. But Atlantis, so this book had to be revised because they censored it. They were like, nah, we're not giving you all our secrets. You got to change the book. So this is her interviewing. And I think I'm a part of Atlantis. I've got an obsession with the sea. So I can't wait to get into this book. But the one that I'm reading, I'm going to be sad when it ends. It's so good. So just go on Amazon and go Sarah Brexman Cosme books. I think she's got a 5th one coming out. I still need to get 2 more. I'm so excited about it. But it tells you the things that in the physical world you're looking for answers. You can't unlock it there. You can unlock it. And they say as well that when you read her books or Dolores Cannon books, or Brian Weiss books, because they do past life regression, it unlocks something within you, your DNA. So I'm all in it. I'm ready for it. So I hope that you guys invest in the book because it's something that I'm going to pass down to my daughter and hopefully my grandchildren. Because I always said to my daughter, when I die, she was like, is there anything that you want me to do, Mum? I go, read all of my books. And in every book that I have, I always write a little paragraph for her. So it's like me leaving an imprint of me behind for my daughter. So I always leave like little comments on the book, like, I love you, I hope you enjoy this book. So when my daughter, when I'm no longer here in the physical plane and I'll be watching her from the other side, there'll be little bits of me in these books. So for now, that's all I've got for you guys for now. So we did talk about reincarnation. We did talk about the sacred geometry and the tree of life. We talked about hot flashes. We talked about sacred spaces to waking up your DNA. I'm going to have a lot more for you again next week. So I will let you know what time I'm going on there. So I hope that, and then I showed you what I'm watching currently. So if you've got Prime, watch things like Beyond Belief. And watch things like, where's the other one? Open Minds, Gaia, Open Minds by Regina Meredith. So check out Regina Meredith. This is her on Prime, Gaia. Flip the camera. So check her out. Gaia, Open Minds, Regina Meredith, and then click on anything that you want to watch. Maybe you want to know about near-death experiences. Maybe you want to know about reincarnation. Maybe you want to know about astral projection. Check out Astral City on Prime. You think I haven't already? You think I haven't already? Trust me. Matthias Stefano, you think I don't know about if you're talking about, this is the guy, if I'm not wrong, because Stefano is the one who created those frequencies. Because if it's Matthias Stefano, if I'm correct, this is somebody that deals with frequencies and tuning in through meditation. Let me just double check that, because Stefano, there's like frequencies. There's like, maybe it's not that one. Maybe I'm thinking about someone else. HZ frequencies, like frequencies. Oh, him. Yes, I know him. Yes, I know about him. He's also been, he's not the one I'm talking about, the frequency, yeah. So look, are you talking about him, yeah? He's been interviewed by Open Minds, Regina, and he's probably also been interviewed by Greg. Yes, I know him. I know who you're talking about, yes. He's also very connected to the lands. He's connected to the lands. He connects that way through nature as well, if I remember correctly. I watch all of these stuff. I like to educate, learn through other people's stories. I'm not able to get where he is, so I have to I have to watch these things so I can get there with them, being in the comfort of my own home. So check out those books. Go on Prime, check out Open Minds, and check out the other one that I was saying. Beyond Belief. Check out Beyond Belief. It's so amazing. Look, I was also watching Astrology 101. I don't care. It was an extra charge for me. I didn't care because I wanted to watch Sarah Brexman Cosme on that. I know I can watch her on YouTube because I follow her on YouTube. And I follow all of these amazing people on YouTube as well. But get the book. Oh my God, it's so good, guys. I'm telling you, it's so good. So get it and tell me what you think about it. So good, I can't put it down. Sometimes I sit in my living room and the TV's off and I'm going, should I watch Friends or should I read my book? And then I'll like watch Friends for like 15 minutes and then I'll put it quietly in the background, then I'll read my book. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. All right, so I'll see you next week, guys. I'll probably be doing an open live tomorrow. I'm not sure yet what time I'm going to be doing an open live. But I'll be an open live tomorrow on TikTok. I don't know if I should go on Instagram or TikTok. I'll see. I'll let you know. But I hope I helped you again in some way. Investigate what I'm talking about. Don't just take my word for it. and meditate. Meditate, guys. It's important that you do so. All right, I love you. When I move to Portugal, I'm going to do private reading. Whenever you're ready, man. Whenever you're ready, let me know. Let me know where you live so I can come and stay in Portugal, because my grandmother was from there. She's Brazilian, but she lived in Portugal. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning. Love and appreciate you. See you soon.